Depending on how you want to look at it, we've made it. Again, depends on how you want to take it in, how you want to view it. We have officially made it. Football really gets going tonight with several nice college games for you to whet your appetite leading into a big weekend of football. And we are up and running here. The early game, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen will be joined this morning by several different people. Football of all kinds. A little bit of it's men's soccer, but it's kind of the same. Football with Tony Annan, who will join us here in about 45 minutes to talk about tomorrow night's big match over at Stone Stadium. Soccer does get going as well tonight. Shelley Smith and the women's team host the Orange team from the upstate. The women's team and Clemson will tangle over at Stone Stadium. And then tomorrow night, it's the men's team taking on the number one ranked Clemson Tigers over at Stone Stadium. So we've got a busy start to your Labor Day weekend, and then that will take us into South Carolina, Georgia State on a Saturday night. I am, again, you heard me talk a little bit about it yesterday, LSU and Florida State on Sunday night. I'm actually pretty excited about that game. I really am intrigued to see Brian Kelly on the sidelines, to see the Seminoles and Mike Norvell and what the Seminoles look like under him this year after that 47-7 romp over Duquesne last weekend. I don't think we declare Florida State back just yet, but certainly you look at them and see what they can do this weekend against a big SEC opponent. And then, Monday night, Georgia Tech. Can Georgia Tech score 10 points? Now, there's your $1 million question. They lost their best offensive player, Jamar Gibbs, in the offseason. Free agency at its finest. Jamar Gibbs transfers to Alabama to play for the Crimson Tide, and now Georgia Tech will try and go against that Clemson defense, which again is expected to be one of the top 5 in the country on Monday night, and should be certainly a very fun game there if you're a Tiger. Not so much probably if you are a Yellow Jacket. We'll talk more about that as we go through the next few hours. Again, Tony Annan said to join us here at about 6:45. He'll hang around for a little bit this morning before heading off to practice. And then coming up at 8:20 this morning, we will be joined by our good buddy Brian Edwards, who will be back as he will be each and every week to give his picks, to give a breakdown of what he sees. He's already sent me several picks, and we'll get into that at 8:20 this morning. And football, not the only thing going on this weekend. The Cookout Southern 500 taking place down in Darlington, and Kerry Tharp will be joining us this morning as well. Speaking of, I tell you what, guy is early. He must have been fired up for a Newcastle draw yesterday. I did not realize that. It's not like a good
excited
draw.
to see you.
He was excited. Didn't see me last week. He gives me the thumbs down on Newcastle. So Tony Annan in studio. So we'll catch up with him here in just a few minutes, get him up and running and having all kinds of fun. Is again, big weekend of European football. So we'll just stick with the football theme, but a big weekend of football starting tonight over at Stone Stadium, and Tony and his guys also taking on Clemson tomorrow night. So we'll get into a lot of that with Coach Annan here coming up in just a few minutes. But again, if you want to be a part of the program this morning, 803-404-6100, how you can be a part of the program. You can also join us via our live stream. As always, go to youtube.com, search 1075 The Game. Click join, subscribe, be a part where David, who's letting me know there's an echo on the live stream. Thank you for that, David. It's always good that. We got another David who's just wishing us good morning. Bill, Jen, and Gamecock Country. That David is up in Raleigh, D.C., LeVar, Justin, all up and at it this morning on our live stream. You can go and be a part of that. Again, go to youtube.com, search 1075 The Game, click, subscribe, join, hop on in that live stream and be a part. And again, if you want to weigh in this morning, 803-404-6100 is how you can be a part of the program. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get Coach Annan set up. We'll get his take on that Newcastle draw yesterday. The TV I was watching, apparently the numbers got funny. I thought it was 2-0. Maybe it's just the bar that I was at that said it was 2-0 and not the actual score. But we'll get Coach Annan's take on that, his weekend up in Ohio, and look ahead to a huge match tomorrow night over at Stone Stadium. 7 o'clock, Stone Stadium. We think the match is sold out. I'll have to confirm that. Yeah, maybe not. We're not. So there's still possibly time to get down there. Beer will be sold. Should be a great time. Great way to start your Labor Day weekend with a little soccer, with some football. Darlington the Cookout Southern 500 down in Darlington. We got a lot going on, and we'll get you covered this morning. You're listening to Jen Jensen, Bill Gunner, and here in just a second, Coach Tony Annan. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game. My phone is acting up. People have been calling me, and it'll I don't know how long ago you texted me, but got a headset. Now, I got this. You're fine. This is live stream there, because we were sitting there last night. I was sitting there with a couple guys, and we were cutting up at the bar, and one of them said, I got season tickets to the Braves. You guys want to go over tomorrow night? And they're playing the Rockies. And I said, where are the tickets? Like, they're like 5 rows behind first base. Well, I hadn't been to a Braves game, so I was like, I can do the radio show from there Monday or Friday morning, yeah. So I called our boss. So now I'm going to a Braves game. But then they all got excited. I mean, I was back home. I was in bed by 9, so it wasn't like I was out all night. So I'm going to go, we've got a parking lot. We've got our parking lot that we run for football games. I've got to go help Dad, and they want to leave at noon. And so I had to kind of change my schedule around very quickly. These are guys that are very confused on how much money I make. They make a lot of money. So for them, it's no problem just to hop off and be like, yeah. So, thankfully, I've got to get some. There's a headset down there. Oh, you got it on your, I'm sorry. You got it around your neck. Okay, that's fine. You'll be on this mic. Yeah, you're fine. No, because I'll run that cord right there. And then, but I'll get back. I'll do the show in the morning and get back. Do it 9, and then they want to leave at 9, so I'll be back by noon. And I'll pick up Austin, and I think what we're going to do is go to the stadium around 5. Okay. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of us people coming down. Yep. Yeah, I need to call him. He texted me yesterday.
Get a $300 instant gift, good towards sleep accessories.
Hey, South Carolina, Scott here from Traditions with good news if you're in the market for an engagement ring or for diamond jewelry, because we have the largest selection you'll see anywhere in the Southeast. And whether you're in the market for a traditional mine diamond or for one of these amazing new lab-grown diamonds, we've got you covered. Because whether you're buying mined or lab, you'll be happy to know that at Traditions, we guarantee the trade-in value of both kinds of diamonds at our store. So if the day comes where you want an even bigger diamond, we'll be happy to give you full value you paid for your original when you trade it in. Even better, we have over 1,000 diamond rings in stock, so you'll get to try on pretty much every style imaginable. And if you still don't see exactly the right design, we'll be glad to custom make it for you. And yes, we have interest-free financing for qualified buyers. So come see us and get the ring of your dreams with a diamond of your choice, only at Traditions Fine Jewelers, South Carolina's diamond superstore and customization destination, on Sunset in Lexington and at the Fountain in Sand Hills, where the Midlands get engaged.
Whatever you have planned today, cancel it. Labor Day savings going on now at Galliana Kia on Greystone and KiaColumbia.com. Unlike other dealers, we're selling new Kias below MSRP. Just go to KiaColumbia.com and see for yourself. New 2023 Kia Forte LXS, just $19,990. All new 2023 Kia Sportage LX, lease for just $259 per month. Plus, Galliana Kia will take any trade-in in any condition, even if it's not paid off. Don't make $1,000 mistake. If you want exactly what your trade is worth and a new Kia below MSRP, gotta go to Galliana. Labor Day savings going on now. The sooner you come in, the more you save. At Galliana Kia on Greystone. I-126 Zoo Exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or KiaColumbia.com. Forte stock number 3K1511. Storage stock number 3K3037. 36 month lease, $39.99 to its signing. Plus tax tag includes $225 closing fee. No security deposit. Negative trade equity financed in new loan. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
This update is sponsored by AAA Heating and Air, home of the $1,500 buyback. AAA Heating and Air must clear out its warehouse before new government efficiency regulations go into effect in 2023. No deals will be turned down. Call today to get a new unit tomorrow. 803-677-1500.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, count on the experts at Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine to get you moving again. Our highly specialized physicians offer comprehensive care for patients at 5 convenient locations throughout the Midlands. Whether you're an athlete looking to return to your sport after injury or someone who needs help for knee, hip, elbow, shoulder, or foot pain, we're here for you. Our expert team can get you better sooner. Visit lexmed.com/ortho to learn more.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football.
2 days till kickoff.
Others take full advantage of the market. We remain true to who we are. We never charge above MSRP or take advantage of you with add-ons. Love Chevy, I-26 at Harbison, at lovechevy.com.
Find new roads.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game
With Bill Gunter, Patrick Perret, and Jen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks. The early game.
107.5 The Game.
Eight 803-404-6100. That's how you can weigh in and be a part of the program this morning. Again, you can go to our live stream. One morning, I'm going to get it set up where Coach Annan is on the live stream. Yeah, you very good looking guy. That all black that you like to wear, the man in black, the old Joe Morrison look here. How you feeling this morning?
Feel good, yeah. Feel very good. Good to be here.
Glad you're here. You're here a little bit earlier than I expected, but that's okay. I can make a change very quickly, and then glad to have you in. And let's talk yesterday. Yeah, your guys, Newcastle, 1-1 tie there in the Premier League. Had an opportunity, they were up and just couldn't hold on.
You obviously didn't watch the game today.
No, I have no clue actually what happened. They won 2-1. They won 2-1, or they lost 2-1.
This is why I love talking football with you. Soccer, sorry. No, the clock said after 90 minutes they added 5 minutes.
Right.
They played 98 and they scored in the 98th minute. So we lost 2-1.
Okay. All right.
Very disappointed.
Yeah, there was a lot going on where I was at. That's pretty much there were shots, yes. Whether it was of the football nature or of the alcohol nature, but that was actually early in the afternoon too. But Premier League's off to an interesting start right now. I think we were kind of talking about this last week when you joined us. I've really gotten in. I know I keep bringing it up, but we were talking about it more yesterday where I was at. We were kind of having a little afternoon football get together and a bunch of guys were together. And so we were trying to explain to somebody again, the Nottingham Forest situation and just relating back to, if you were a South Carolina fan and the Gamecocks got moved down to say the Sun Belt for 23 years. And then this was the first year back in the SEC, the excitement that would be in this town. And there is excitement in this town for football, but there's also excitement for soccer. We were talking about it. You were talking about the crowds that are expected tonight and tomorrow night for y'all's game.
Yeah, the girls play Clemson tonight at 7, and then we play them tomorrow night at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the expected crowds are, I think, between 5,000 and 6,000. So it's awesome to have that excitement and that the buzz around the stadium. And obviously we're serving beer now, so that always helps keep the crowd happy.
That generally does make for happier or louder or more obnoxious fans, one of the three. But
always welcome.
Always welcome. Let's go back to your team's trip to Ohio this weekend. Obviously, one outcome that you can kind of get by with. The other one, I think y'all learned a good bit. You have a draw against Ohio State, 1-1 on Thursday, 4-2 loss to Dayton. But what did you learn? What did you learn getting your kids on the road, all the little things that go into it, the hotel, the travel, having everybody together? What did you take away?
To be fair, I was quite pleased with Thursday because Ohio State's a good program. It's a big program. There's a lot of history there, just like there is with the Gamecocks. So to come out of that with 1-1, and to be honest, the stats say that we had the better of the game. So I was pleased with it being our first game of the season on the road in an environment that we weren't used to, which was good for us. It had been 1996 was the last time the Gamecocks were on the road for their first game of the season.
Oh, okay.
So it'd been a long time since we'd done that. So that was good. And then the quick turnaround, it's never easy to go, 2 full games in 4 days. So it was tough. And Sunday we got a lesson in being awake and being ready to go, because they jumped all over us, and we managed to get in at 1-0 at half time. But then the second half, they jumped on us again. And, some of the younger guys who were making their debut struggled a little bit, which is fine. It's what you want. But obviously we were trying to get a result. And by the time we got going and turned it around, it was just, we ran out of time. We started scoring goals and the game ended. So, yeah, disappointed with that, but a good lesson for everybody. And like I said, I told the story about when we were in the MLS and we got beat 4-0 off Houston Dynamo first game of the season. And everyone was saying Tata Martino was too wide open, too blasé, and they won the MLS Cup that year. So I told that story and just try to get the guys back on track. So
Much like we would ask Shane or Lamont or anybody after that, how have they bounced back? You mentioned that y'all got back late Sunday night. You gave them Monday off, but you've had now 2 days of practice. You're going to leave here and head over, I know, for a video session, and I'm guessing a training today, I assume, maybe a lighter one given that you got a game. But how have they bounced back on Tuesday and Wednesday? Have you liked what you've seen in terms of focus and being re-engaged and being ready to go for, obviously, the number one team in the country tomorrow night?
Yeah, they're buzzing. They've been great all week. The effort's been awesome. The attention to detail's been awesome. So I'm happy with them. They're a great group, right? They're an unbelievable group of lads. I've got great returners from the previous cycle, and then obviously our new guys that have come in. But they've really come together pretty well. And like I said, training's been great. The feeling's been good around it. We're excited to play the number one team in the country and see what we can do in front of our own fans.
It's been, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, it just amazes me at the schedule that the NCAA puts on you, the time, almost what we'll call time constraints. 3 weeks, right? This is technically the third. Am I right on that? The 8th, 15th, 22nd, so maybe fourth week. Fourth week you've had them. So how much have you seen them grow from? I think it was August 8th was the first day you were able to actually step on the pitch with them and start actually them hearing your voice coaching them. And as you mentioned, when you have 18 new guys, you're cute and cuddly in the recruiting process. You're a nice guy. Then you go on the field and they go, oh, coach is kind of serious. How much have you seen them grow in 4 weeks?
Well, I mean, the recruiting process, I always tell them who I am, what I am, and what to expect. I don't hide anything from them, because I don't want them coming here if they can't handle, the straight truth, because that's what I give. So they understand coming in how I'm going to be. A lot of them had a steep learning curve. A lot of them came from their teams where they were the star, they were the best player, and maybe didn't get the pressure or the feedback that they should have got to push them along and stretch their ability and stretch them. So a lot of them have had a bit of a shock the first few weeks, but now they're starting to get over that and starting to get on with it. It's seen tons of growth, especially from the young guys. They've their confidence and their sort of resolve has come to the front of it. So, and you get the ones who haven't adjusted yet. There's still a few strugglers who are not. They haven't grasped training every day at 7:30 in the morning, and also playing through 2-3 days a week. They haven't grasped that yet, and sometimes it takes a few years even. I mean, I talked to Coach Burson when I first got here. He's like, you've got to nurture some of them and let some of them come along, and some of them don't pop until junior year. So that's it's kind of where we are. We've got the majority of the squad is really, really going good guns, but there's a couple that are just trying to adjust.
Let's get a little technical for a second. For people coming out, it seems like to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, you've had one goal in each of your first 4 games, 2 exhibitions. Is that, I'm right on that, right? It was 1-1 against Duke, 1-1 against Gardner Webb, obviously 1 against. So people looking at it offensively, are you just behind? Is that about on pace for what you expect? Is there something that right now you're trying to interject with the front line there to be able to either get more shots or to have better chances at putting the ball on goal?
Yeah, to be fair, we've created a lot of chances. So it's not like we're not creating. It's just the sharpness in front of the net, the position in front of the net, that we're just not not getting it there yet. I mean, there was a problem last season as well. So we create a lot of chances the way we play, but we've got to get more bodies in the box, and we've got to be able to finish under a bit of pressure, which has been a little bit of a problem starting off, but hopefully it'll click at some point and you get to it.
How do you change that? When you say more bodies, is it tactical? Is it just players getting older, understanding positioning, understanding spacing? How does that? And because trust me, I watched it this past weekend in Spartanburg with our club team. It was not the best weekend, but yeah, how does that evolve? Is it something that the coach can do, or is it something that players just learn and it naturally comes about being in positioning?
It's a great question, because I mean, sometimes it's just there's players that have natural ability, right? That just know where the goal is, they know where to be, they know how to check their run, then it just comes natural to them. But for the most part, there's a philosophy piece of it that you've got to buy into, which is getting in the box itself, which is running. Obviously, then positioning and readjusting to the ball and the ball carrier. But then there's a lot of teaching goes on, right? A lot of finishing stuff goes on. How do you finish? Where do you finish? What part of the foot are you using to find that part? If you're not, just putting your head down and smashing it as hard as you can sometimes, you know? So there's a lot of teaching to go on, but there's also the player has to mature. And like I said, I think I've said every interview I've ever done, there's a process to everything. There's a process to coaching. There's a process to a team. There's a process to an individual getting better. It's all a process. It doesn't just happen overnight and you wave your magic wand, that, unfortunately. Unless you get someone who's uber talented,
right? Who's
just got it.
But you don't in college. You don't get those. Those guys pretty much go straight to like almost an academy in Europe. Is that's kind of like if you're. I would relate it back to a football recruiting ranking. South Carolina's involved with a top 10 player nationally out of Maryland. If there's a recruiting ranking for soccer in America, is it kind of like basketball where the top 5, top 10 have options? In basketball, you can go to the new G League, or now you can sign with one of these kind of, I almost want to call them academies. I think it's called Overtime Elite. Is that how it is in soccer recruiting, where you might spend a lot of time recruiting a guy, but all of a sudden he gets offered to go, say, be on Man City's academy team, which doesn't mean he's playing in the Premier League. Maybe he's playing a level or two down, but he starts. How does that work in recruiting?
There's not a lot of players that go from here straight to Europe. There are a few anomalies, right? Pulisic, people like that. But most of the pool that the talent we're looking at will either sign a professional contract with an MLS team, or come to college, then possibly go to Europe, or then possibly go back to the MLS. But most of the players we are recruiting or looking at will go to MLS Pro, which is the reserve team league, or they'll go into the full MLS and get a homegrown contract. So that's a small percentage. It's maybe 2 or 3 kids per club, but that's the 2 or 3 that used to come to college, your Dempseys of the world and people like that, that came to college. So Wolf, Josh, he probably would have went pro had it been 20 years ago, right? So I think we've got a kid now who's coming to us next year, is committed for 23, Luke Brennan, who is a real talent. Like, we're really excited about him. But the possibility is at Christmas, Atlanta United might turn around and call me and say, listen, Luke's not coming. We're going to sign him to a 5-year deal. We've got to accept that. We've got to roll, right? But we've got to take the chance on getting that talent in.
It's the same concept that
plan B, right?
Same concept kind of that Mark Kingston has to have with his recruits. You can spend all the time you want recruiting them, but then
they could go pro.
They could very well go pro. We'll continue talking about that. I want to get your take on the Clemson Tiger team, what you've seen. I know you said you're doing video today, but what you've seen or what you're expecting. But then also you mentioned you're kind of excited. You got some good tickets for Saturday night. You're kind of ready to go and see the
Football's
new LED.
Here.
Yeah, football. Always.
I love me some football.
Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, we got plenty of football to get to. You're listening to Coach Tony Annan, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The year was 2007, and on November 12, 107.5 The Game went on the air. And since then, we have celebrated with you an SEC East title on the gridiron.
The exclamation point in the swamp. Carolina is going to Atlanta.
Our 15th anniversary celebration on 107.5 The Game is sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, getting you better sooner.
Push. Touchdown, Carolina. Oh, I want this animal. Yes. Yes! Are you kidding me?
Happy anniversary to us on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game and the new 107.5 The Game app.
It is a big weekend. Maybe you're going to have several watch parties. Shoot, South Carolina soccer will be streaming. If you can't make the game on Friday night, it'll be streaming live. You can watch it on one of your smart TVs, have people over, but you want to have a clean home. You want the carpet, the tile, the rugs, the upholstery. Y'all want it to look insanely clean. Good news. With Zero Res and their patented no residue cleaning system, that's exactly what you will get. Your carpets, your rugs, your upholstery, all will look insanely clean. So right now, take advantage of their fall sale going on. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119 when you mention me, Bill Gunner at 107.5 The Game. You can give them a phone call and get that scheduled, 803-262-4020. You can schedule with ease online, ZeroResColumbia.com is the way to do that. Again, it is the fall sale going on. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $119. All you need to do is remember my name, Bill Gunner, and say that at 107.5 The Game, and look out. You've got yourself a new deal there with Zero Res. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for only $119. 803-262-4020, or you can schedule with ease online, ZeroResColumbia.com. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com.
And taking a look at the traffic conditions out there this morning, we are showing really no major slowdowns. We do have an accident to report a little bit farther up I-26 westbound at exit 82. But your forecast is looking pretty nice. High of 89 today and tomorrow. Could see some scattered storms earlier on Saturday, but by Saturday night, not too bad. Hit a low of only about 71. Right now, it is 75 at 107.5 The Game.
If you have a small business, Staples has your sign.
Banners for my bakery?
Staples has your sign.
Oh, posters for my new pet store.
Floor decals for a pharmacy.
Every day, Staples associates help every kind of small business create bold signs to make big impressions. And now get $10 off custom signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. This is your sign, so print it big at Staples. Ends 10/1. Visit staplesconnect.com/thisisyoursign for details.
In times of fear, World Vision is there for the most vulnerable. For the last 70 years, we've been standing with kids and families through natural disasters, war, and disease, delivering life-saving aid and helping rebuild lives. And with every act of courage, faith, and love, we do more than just stop the spread of fear. We replace it with hope. Learn more at worldvision.org.
With Carolina Fresh Farms, you'll be the envy of your neighborhood. It's the perfect time to make plans for fall, whether you need to protect your lawn to prevent winter weeds, freshen up your mulch, or create a new project like a natural stone paver patio, outdoor fireplace, or retaining wall. The knowledgeable staff specialists are ready to help you. With 7 locations across South Carolina, visit their website, carolinafreshfarms.com, to find the location nearest you. Carolina Fresh Farms, your landscaping supply specialist.
I'm Taylor Bisciotti with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Hopefully, Sony Michel didn't throw out his SoFi Stadium parking pass. The ex-Rams running back is heading back to LA, this time as a Charger after signing a 1-year deal Wednesday. Michel led the Super Bowl champions in rushing last season. Another veteran running back also found a new home as Kenyon Drake signed a 1-year deal with Baltimore. Drake's former teammate Alex Leatherwood wasn't out of work for long. The 2021 first-round pick of the Raiders was claimed off waivers by the Bears. A former first-round wide receiver pick is on the move as the Eagles traded Jalen Reagor to the Vikings for a 7th-round pick and a conditional 4th-rounder in 2024. And Colts All-Pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard practiced for the first time all year Wednesday following back surgery. Raiders Pro Bowl tight end Darren Waller also back at practice after missing most of camp with a hamstring injury. And in Denver, Billy Turner and Randy Gregory returned from injury as well. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Fantasy football isn't just a game. It's a way of life. And with the NFL Fantasy app, your life just got way better. Get all the touchdowns, fantasy points, and bragging rights all in one place. It's free and easy to play. Just sign up and draft. Optimize your lineup with one click and watch exclusive player stories. From the stars you know to sleepers who can win you your league. NFL fantasy. We live for this. Download the NFL Fantasy app today.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in just months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
What we're talking about on 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
Eight 803-404-6100, joined in studio by head men's soccer coach Tony Annan as he gets ready for big rivalry match against the Clemson Tigers. You were saying that last year up there at I'm blanking on their stadiums. Oh, historic Riggs Field. That's right, historic Riggs Field. That their fans were, we'll use the term, not nice. They were, or maybe they were very cordial. How would you rather put it? They knew your name. But that one.
There you go. They said my name a lot, but they were calling me all sorts. It was it's fine. It's part of the course. But I smile a few times and give a few a wink because I don't want to let them see it's
right
on my
that you're crying on the inside. Yeah,
it's nice of them to let you know that you're number one all the time.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I get from my producer over there.
They were calling me Tony the Tiger at one point, and that amused me. But no, I mean it's just banter, right? I've grew up in that sort of environment, so it doesn't bother me. But they were funny, but they were hostile. I'll give them that. They did a good job.
So you want that from your fans on Friday night. You mentioned, and I don't know how many details you could give because we were just talking off air, but you said that there's kind of a pregame tailgate on Friday night. There'll be food trucks and a lot of things going on. If people want to get down early and kind of start warming up, obviously I think we might end up going over and seeing Brian Glenn at the Village Idiot and having a pizza or two and then heading over. But you mentioned that there is a tailgate going on pre Friday night game.
On Thursday, both nights.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a tailgate between the athletic buildings right beside the stadium.
Okay.
Both nights.
And you said food trucks and a lot of things.
Games and everything. Yeah, just like a good time. So just trying to get the atmosphere going before we get in the stadium, you know.
It should be a really good time and should be a really good atmosphere. Just, I know you've been focused on Ohio State and then Dayton and some other things, but just your perspective of this program coming into play. You, number one, great opportunity for your team to go out and show really what they're made of. Obviously, Ohio State and Dayton were very good, and Duke and Gardner-Webb are solid programs, but this is a huge opportunity. What have you seen? How does, for those that'll go and watch, what is the style of Clemson, and how does it match with what you try to accomplish, your style?
Yeah, it'll be a good matchup. It'll be an entertaining game. The way they play, they've got some very good players. I mean, there's no taking away from them. They're number one. They're for a reason.
Right.
It's been 8 years since Gamecocks won against them, so it's been a good stretch.
Yeah.
And the goal is hopefully not to go 9. But yeah, they're a good side. There's nothing you can't take anything away from them. But like I said, I think we'll give them a game, and it'll be an entertaining game at the very least, I hope.
How do you describe for people that will come out maybe first time that they're going to watch your club? Because we haven't had a chance, even if you wanted to watch it streaming. We couldn't figure out. I think you were part of that discussion last week with the Big Ten Plus for the Ohio. So we couldn't figure out how to watch that. I think you'd have some kind of special package. For those that will make the trip over to Stone Stadium on Friday night, describe the way you want to play, what they're seeing, what they're watching, and how it would make sense to them.
Like I think I've always said, I want to be attacking minded. I want to, entertain. It is entertainment, right? It's sports, but it's also you got to entertain the crowd and keep the crowd in it. So yeah, I want to be entertaining. We want to be attacking minded. We don't want to, pack it in our own half and try not to lose, as they say. So we've got to be on the front foot and have a go, and that's what we intend to do. It's the philosophy of the program now is to attack and have a go at people and really, really make it an entertaining game to watch.
Let's transition. You were talking about it. You've got some tickets for Saturday night. go over and catch Shane Beamer's ball club, and your second year really being able to watch South Carolina football. You mentioned it. You've been around the state. I think you initially, or there was a relationship there or something you were telling me about in Myrtle Beach this summer. So you're familiar with the state. It's not that this is your first time being around here and going, oh, this is totally different. But the excitement you've seen, you went to a lot of the Gamecock Club meetings. You saw the excitement, not just for soccer, but obviously for Shane and for football and Lamont and basketball as well. But your take on what you're hoping to see Saturday night from Shane's team.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to go watch. Like I said before, I love football. I love the NFL as well. So I watch a lot of it. So, what Shane and his crew have done over there and what they're doing, I think is excitement all around the state for the whole Gamecock Nation. But yeah, I can't wait to go and see them hopefully be down on Georgia State and that thing be rocking. I mean, like Shane says, there's no place in college football better than not Stone Stadium, Willie B during 2001 in Sandstorm. So I mean, it gives me goosebumps when I go through that. So I love that. I love that beginning.
Late game, you're not gonna be able to take the kids to this one. You want to enjoy it a little bit and be able to relax. And I'm sure you'll be around on the sidelines. I know you can't talk recruits, but you don't have any coming in this weekend. Is it an open period for soccer recruiting?
We could have people in, but we are choosing not to have in for a few weeks. We've got a couple in a few weeks coming in for I think the Charlotte game.
Okay.
But for this weekend, we were focused on obviously the big rival game and then football on Saturday night.
Have you? I guess you during the fall, if you have official visitors and you do take them to a football game.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
What have you gotten feedback? Is any of this? Did any of them come back and go, whoa, look at that. Did you see that atmosphere at the football game? And I know you're probably saying, well, a little bit smaller stadium, but that's what we're trying to build with you coming to.
We don't necessarily have tons of recruits in during the fall because it's so busy. But when they do come in, it's like, wow, factor. I mean, we take them in the stadium when it's empty as well. And they're still amazed at the size of the place and, how cool it is. So we try and use Football World, as we call it, which is their own little world over there, the campus and their training grounds. We show recruits that because it is impressive. And it does show how big a school we are and, how proud a school we are. So we do use it, but get them in that stadium on game day with all the Gamecocks in there, man, it's a different level.
And showing them the tailgating scene, I would imagine, too. I don't know if y'all use the golf carts to kind of maneuver around, come down from your facility, and then just show them the tailgating scene and kind of, as you mentioned, the atmosphere around the stadium, which is, I've grown up going to that. That is, I'm very familiar with that. And Saturday will be no different. I'll have both of my kids with me and we'll have the grill going and find a way to do the televisions and all the fun stuff there. But it's always interesting because I've seen it. So to me, it's second nature, but to hear someone else, like, you bring a recruit in and then look around kind of wide eyed, it's always interesting to hear their feedback on it.
Yeah, for sure. Even me, like when I first came here and I went, all right, I'm going to go to a football game. And I went over there and I was like, wow, this is real, right? It was packed, huge tailgates everywhere and everyone having a good time. And even I got a surprise at how fanatical it is about, it's great. I love it.
You haven't even seen the good stuff. I mean, last year was excitement and it was fun to see. And I've mentioned it. It was different here when Steve Spurrier really had this thing going. And unfortunately, there was a loss back in 2014 to Texas A&M, and it really took the wind. And it really was a gut punch to the program. It was a gut punch to the fan base. And this week, this offseason is the first time I've seen the excitement, the true excitement in the fan base the way it was about 8 years ago. So it should be a lot of fun on Saturday night. We'll continue to talk about that, see if there's any other games any college football games you want to watch on Saturday, and also kind of get your take, a little look around as you've gotten into your season. I know you're busy with your team, but I'm guessing, do you keep up with what's kind of going on in the conference nationally in terms of soccer? Do you have that? Do you?
I watch a lot of soccer.
Do you?
A lot.
Okay. Well, we'll get your take on that to kind of get you to break down kind of what's going on nationally right now and just what you're seeing and who's maybe standing out a little bit to you there as well. It's Bill Gunner. It's head coach Tony Annan, and it's Jen Jensen. You're listening to The Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
The year was 2007. And on November 12th, 1075 The Game went on the air. And since then, we have celebrated with you
A trip to the Final Four with the men.
The South Carolina Gamecocks, for the first time in program history, are headed to the Sweet 16.
Our 15th anniversary celebration on 1075 The Game is sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, getting you better sooner.
Game over. Gamecocks are in the Final Four.
happy anniversary to us.
Anthony saying this is an awesome interview with Tony. So, hey, like I said, we'll get it. I meant to go, but I've got an iPad and I've got to switch out the little SIM card to make it work. But I can put it right there, just facing you. And I need to go do that. Just leave it here because it's my daughter's old iPad that she did. Is it in here? Well, it does. It's no good. Yeah, I could do, but I've got to do that. I've got to remember. Well, they're looking at me right now. So, and Larry says a lot of goals are entertaining as long as they're our goals. What was the other thing I was going to do? I'm turn this back off for now. I'm still waiting on
that want to catch that and watch that on Friday night.
Yeah, for sure. That's ESPN Plus does a lot of color soccer stuff now.
And that's how you said you've been able to keep up and watch a lot of the action lately. What has stood out to you through about the first week and a half here of the early season?
The game against Indiana for Clemson was a great game to watch. It was obviously a good sort of showcase of college soccer. It was a great game, end to end. It was very good. Pitt are very good this year again. Jay Vidovic's team up there, he's done a great job in the last few years. Took him a while to turn it, but he's turned it, and it's an exciting team to watch. West Virginia, Marshall, Kentucky, all in the top 10. So they're all in our conference, which obviously bodes well for our conference. So yeah, there's a lot of good teams this year. Like you work as hard as you can to improve your team, but every team's improving, right? It's not just you that's improving. You got to.
Well, you hope your team, not just your team, but every other team is hoping they're improving.
Exactly,
but you just mentioned it, West. You're in terms of conference, in terms of what you're in. Where would I go? I should have texted you this last night as I bring up this conversation. Where is the best place to find the college soccer rankings?
Just go to NCAA.
Okay.
Put in men's soccer, and it'll show you the top 25, pretty much up to date.
So you look at your conference right now, and as you just mentioned, Marshall won the national championship, 2 years ago? Am I right on that? Okay, yeah, 2 years ago. You just mentioned Kentucky's performing very well. As you've watched kind of a little bit of the evolution here the first week and a half of your conference, a little bit stronger than you thought, about what you expected?
I expected it to be a very tough conference, for sure. When we went into it, we knew what we were going into, but it's looking at the teams in it. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. So I expected it to be tough. It's not a surprise that those teams are good and those teams are doing well.
Yeah, now you got me. I finally found it. Yeah, Clemson is number 1 right now, followed by Pittsburgh, Stanford, UCLA, Wake Forest. You mentioned Kentucky. They're currently 2-0, ranked 6th nationally. Marshall's right there at 11th. They're 1-1 on the season. Charlotte. I don't have your schedule right in front of me. They're currently 12th at this moment. You mentioned West Virginia, 18th. Indiana, the team that lost to Clemson the other night, has dropped to 21st on the season. Let's transition a little bit, go to some Premier League. And as we've gotten into this, it's been kind of entertaining. Now, explain to people, because I had this conversation, and I'll admit I'm learning. We're getting there. But you've got Premier League, you've got the Champions League. Championship League?
Yes. So it's called Premier League. The next division is called the Championship.
No.
Oh, you mean above the Premier League, Champions League?
Where they take 4 teams from the Premier League.
Sorry, I just thought
I'm not. Hey, look, you got. I've got some of it. I understand. I'm much smarter on NASCAR, which normally I dominate our picks. But
I heard.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I heard he cheats as well, right?
No, that's Reggie Anderson. Totally different. Okay. Yeah, totally different. He's
so
using
the Champions League's above the Premier League.
Right, where they take the top 4 out of the Premier League.
Yeah, and other countries.
And other countries. Talk a little bit about the Champions League, because I understand this is about to get going, or we were discussing that. Give us a breakdown of the Champions League for those trying to understand the different. Again, it's an interesting setup they have for how they do professional soccer in Europe.
The Champions League is basically the best 4 to sometimes 3, depending on what the country is, where it's coming from, what league it's coming from. But the best teams from who finish the highest in the leagues, the domestic league, go into the Champions League, which is the toughest competition in football. Like some people will say it's tougher than the World Cup. So, but that's the creme de la creme of the leagues. If you're in the Champions League, it's where you want to be. It's where all the money is. It's where all the TV money is as well. So it's very prosperous to be in the Champions League. So the groups this year are pretty tight. Like Rangers is in, the Scottish team, and Celtic, they're in very tough groups. Man City's got, I think, one of the easier groups through. Spurs are in it. They've got a tough group. Yeah.
And they get going actually next Tuesday, I believe, is the opening day after Labor Day.
Yeah.
You mentioned it. Man City will play. Juventus will play. So you've got most of your elite star football players of Europe over there participating in this Champions League for people that want to get into that as well.
If you're an elite player and you are the top players, you should be playing in the Champions League. The only one who's not is Ronaldo.
Okay.
Because he's at Man United. And they haven't done well of late. So
there was a situation, and maybe you understand it a little bit better. I think it was last weekend, maybe the weekend before. There was a certain player not happy, and I can't remember what team or what player, but not happy. And his coach elected to sit him. Said mentally he wasn't ready for the match. Describe that as is the trade, because I guess it's similar to what we have with the NFL or with Major League Baseball, where you can be traded, but they call it going on loan or being purchased. Explain that part of the process over there for a Premier or Champions League, or how players are kind of moved about.
Yeah, there's windows for transfers where you get bought, so you can be bought for silly money like 100 million, and paid $500,000 a week. I mean, that's crazy money.
Seriously?
Absolutely.
There's that much money?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the transfers are going through the roof now. It's nuts. And then what they get paid and the bonuses they get paid it's crazy.
And that's why people see the contracts over here for athletes, and we are astounded by it. But it honestly, for the major players over there, for the best players in the world, what like a Juan Soto is about to be paid, or I'm trying to think of the biggest contract, Kyler Murray, what he got in the offseason. It doesn't even measure up really to what these football players over in Europe are making.
I mean, some of the contracts here in the baseball and the football do, but these are like regular sort of transfers in Europe. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. Anthony, who's about to move from Ajax to Man United, is going to be purchased for 100 million. And he obviously doesn't get that 100 million, but he gets a big percentage. His agent will get probably 10 to 18% of that for that one transfer. And then he can negotiate his salary anywhere from probably 300,000 a week to 500,000 a week. So, and then loans are when a player is out of favor and they don't want to sell him because they want him for the future. Then they loan him to a lower level team where he'll play every week and obviously develop, and then possibly sell him from there.
So on loan, are you making money?
Yeah, you get paid by the club you're on loan for. Yeah.
I need to be on loan to somebody.
So if I take you on loan, I have to pay your salary while you're on loan with me.
Okay.
Unless the club you're coming from says, well, we'll pay 100,000 of it, you pay 200,000 of it. So
That's fascinating. Wow.
803-404-6100. If you want to take Jen on loan, we'll offer her. We're going to give away.
Yeah, but you're not going to give anything.
I get you got to pay me. Get you away from me. We're going to give away football tickets.
It'd be worth it.
We're going to give away football tickets in the coming up in the next hour, and we may try to give away Jen. Who knows? You never know. If you just got to keep listening to the program. Hour 2 up next.
Gamecocks, Braves, the NFL with live local radio. 107.5 The Game, WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia, a Cumulus media station.
Hey Gamecock fans, this is Karen Hood with Coldwell Banker Realty. Since 1985, my husband Danny and I have been striving to give better than expected real estate service to our clients in the Midlands of South Carolina. Our son William DiMaggio joined us in 2014, and since then the Hood team has consistently been recognized as the #1 Coldwell Banker Realty small team in the Carolinas. If you want honesty, integrity, and results backed by experience in buying or selling real estate, call the Hood team at 803-730-2512 or online at thehoodteam.com.
So I guess Josh is asking difference between loan and transfer.
So if you go on loan, you are still the property of the club you belong to. Right. If you transfer, you're done. You're out. That's when
But they don't a transfer or a loan, whatever. Well, I should say a transfer because, like you said, they don't transfer a player for a player. It's usually just money.
One way. There is deals where you go, right, I'll give you 80 million for him, plus I want your centre back in the trade.
Right.
But that very rarely happens. Very rarely.
I'm debating whether to have you deal with Gamecock Larry as well. Oh, you've never heard Gamecock Larry? Oh, okay. We're going to take Gamecock Larry then. We'll let you. Yeah.
Isn't the one who says, I've got a horse's ass? I want you to be the back end of it.
No, that was just some guy. That was just some. Oh, this will be fun. This will be entertaining. He is an 87-year-old man that what he is about to say, I think genuinely will believe. Like he is like super fan. And I don't want to say sad. That's not. I don't want to put it down, but like he's 87. Questionable health at best. They wheeled him out to this golf tournament last Friday. He's got his air tubes in. I mean, and this is what he does. Like literally, this is his life. He listens to from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. He listens. He tries to call into every show. He can. Yeah. Anthony says Gamecock later will fire up Coach Tony. Yeah. Yeah. He fire up. Well, you'll hear. It. Yeah. He's the one. He's the one on one of our intros that yells, "Let me finish, Bill." Yeah. He gets. Does he even know what soccer is? Oh, I forgot what. No. Yeah. You mean the person yeah, I don't. Buckle up. Here's later. Oh, this will be fun. Yeah. This will probably throw him a massive curveball too. So this is probably going to really confuse him too when I tell him that he's on with you. He's not going to. He's easy to confuse. That one. 7 a.m. on your Thursday morning commute. Head men's soccer coach Tony Annan, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen, and boy, do I have a treat for y'all here in just a second. During the break, I was telling Coach Annan, I said, well,
Gamecock Larry's on the line. We may take him. A couple people on the live stream were saying, you gotta let Gamecock Larry get on. He might have a few questions for Coach Annan. Coach Annan, obviously has a job. He doesn't listen to sports. He doesn't listen to us all morning, and occasionally he probably wants to listen to music on his drive in and not hear the rantings of myself and Jen trying to keep me in line. So he was a little confused, and I was trying to explain it. And I also said he's the guy on one of our intros that says, "Let me finish, Bill." Well, that was the intro that just played. So without further ado, Jen, let's officially indoctrinate Coach Annan into the early game by bringing on Gamecock Larry. Gamecock Larry, Coach Tony Annan. Coach Tony Annan, Gamecock Larry. Gamecock Larry, how you doing this morning?
Doing just fine. Good morning, Coach Tommy.
Yeah, there we go, Coach Tommy.
I'm gonna tell you something, Coach Tommy.
Tony, it's Tony. It's Tony.
It's gonna be.
Tony.
Tony. Okay, it's gonna be a good weekend. If we gonna have, I can guarantee 3 wins out of 3. You're gonna take they're gonna take care of them good ladies from the upstate. You're gonna take care of them young men from the upstate. Beamer gonna take care of the Georgia State 3-0. But now let me tell you something about that. I listened to Bill yesterday morning talk about 265 and all that. But I got this thing kind of broke down a little bit. Oh yeah, first let me apologize for yesterday morning. I didn't know, I was all mixed up, but I just wasn't thinking right. Couldn't get my mouth and my brain engaged.
That happens
but
to Bill
I
quite a
got
bit.
my mouth ready and got my brain engaged. Spencer Rattler, 320 plus passing yards, 3 TDs, and I'm afraid 1 interception.
Oh, okay.
Rushing attack, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no fumbles. 560 total yards. And I'll say about 41-17 Gamecocks. Now, I got 2 scores I'm debating.
Okay.
I may have to call in the morning and change this, but I'm going to say 41-17 Gamecocks. And again, let me make sure Coach Elliott understands. Coach Elliott, I'm not talking about you Panthers. I know you're ready for us, but we're going to be ready for you, so we're going to have a good game. So that's going to be about all I got to say. Now, you said something about you go predict some scores. I'm trying to get my predictions for some of
Larry?
these SEC and Clemson and ACC games. Did you say Clemson is playing Georgia Tech?
That is correct. They play them on Monday night.
Is that an ACC game? They playing that quick?
That's exactly right. Yeah, you got a Big Ten game tonight, Penn State and Purdue. I know you probably don't care, but yeah, Clemson and Georgia Tech Monday night.
Purdue gonna win that one, and for tomorrow, shootout or knockout or whatever you call it out up there in West Virginia. It's gonna be West Virginia over Pittsburgh. So I figure that score that'll be about 30, 38, about 27, I guess. Okay, that's about all I got to say. Coach Tony, it's nice meeting you over the phone. I would love to see you, but you have to come see me because I can't get around. They give me a riding motor scooter. They give me a riding wheelchair, but they take my dad burn driver's license. How in the world am I supposed to get out there and ride with no license?
Larry,
But I'm all
the pleasure
right.
was all mine. Can you give me a score for the Clemson Gamecock game Friday night? Could you predict that one?
Friday, did you say predict what?
The soccer
game on
Soccer,
Friday
yeah,
night.
you gotta-
Can you give
you
me a
gotta
prediction
score-
on the score?
Yeah.
I would love to. Oh, yeah, you're going to. Well, okay. I don't know too much about scoring soccer, but I'll say you're going to win about 4-2.
I'll
4 to
take
2.
that.
You're going to
I'll
win
take
4
that,
to
Larry.
2. You might shut them out. You may shut them out because
Let's hope so.
you got your boy, you got your young men ready. We're going to go all the way. And you're going to win. You got upset, beat up there in Ohio, but I'll tell you what, I listen to old Bill talking down you. But
We'll look
I'm
forward
a
to it.
Gamecock through and through. Been a Gamecock for 88 years. So that's about all I got to say. Go Gamecocks. Love all of y'all. Go Gamecocks. Have a good day. Talk
Cheers, Larry.
to you later.
Thanks.
Take care. There you go. How was that for you?
Awesome.
There you go. Easy.
So you're going to win
I
4 to
love
2.
to-
You already
Or-
know going in.
Or he may shut him out.
Oh,
May shut them out, yeah.
May shut him out. They'll
Big
be
difference.
So yeah, he's our official. He'll offer predictions each and every week, and we heard that. I was trying to keep track of him. He said 5 touchdowns. I had 5, 3 passing, 2 rushing, and then I'm guessing two field goals for the Gamecocks. So he's going 41-17, and
One
then
interception.
one. Yeah, he was unfortunate. He said unfortunately Spencer will throw one to Georgia State. So good to hear from Gamecock Larry this morning. Before we get you out of here, you got to head over for some training and some video, but just kind of final thoughts now as you really are getting into it. You have 4 games. You've had 2 exhibitions, 2 regular season games. You've had 4.5 weeks, and just ready for what should be a very fun night on Friday night for you and your ball club. You should have a great crowd, great opponent coming in, great opportunity. I think great's the operative word right there for your young men on Friday night.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to show where we're at against the best in the country, which is what you want, right? You don't want to just roll over teams. You want to play the best competition to test yourself and see where you're at. I mean, there's no point in playing teams you can roll over when you've got teams you can bring in like Clemson, who are like number 1 at the moment,
How do you compare? Did you have a chance last year to go to the South Carolina Clemson football game? Obviously, being in here in town.
We were out of town.
Okay.
We were away on the road, and we came back, and the game was halfway through when I got back.
By the way, we get a text in, and anonymous texter just says, "Tell Coach Tommy good luck Friday night."
Yeah,
So-
thanks. My new nickname, Coach Tommy.
How does the atmosphere? How will you? So you talked about what it was like up at Riggs Field last year.
Mhm.
What do you want to see? Coach up the fan. I heard Shane coaching up the fans a little bit on the Tuesday press conference. He was saying, "Come out there, tailgate, but come into the stadium and be ready to go. Be ready to make a lot of noise. I'll give you a chance to coach up the fans that'll be there on." And you said there should be a great student crowd as well.
Yeah, the students getting double points for football, so it usually brings out a really good, couple of thousand of them. There's some veterans coming, some troops coming. So I think there's about 250 coming from Fort Jackson. So we'll have a great crowd. I want the crowd to feed the players. I mean, when you're a player and you're in front of a good crowd that's got a good energy, you feed off it, gives you that extra little push, gives you that extra 10% to get through the half or through the game. But yeah, I mean, getting into it, really, really encouraging. Obviously, getting behind the team and making it rowdy and making it loud and a little bit nasty for the opposition to make them uncomfortable as well, right? So that's kind of what you want from your crowd. But really, it's about having a good time, and hopefully we put on a good show to entertain them.
It wouldn't be an interview, an official interview with a Gamecock coach if we didn't ask you the big question.
What's that?
Shane got asked this the other day, and this will anger Alan on our text line. What's the uniform combination for tomorrow night? What are the kits tomorrow night?
Is Alan from is he from Charleston?
I don't know, but Alan was very unhappy yesterday. We played something about the uniforms that the men's team was in, and Alan had sent us a text. Was like, "Why do media ask this question? Why do they? Who cares what we're wearing?"
Oh, that's not Alan from Charleston, because Alan from Charleston did a full strategic deep dive into the uniform combinations of the team in the last 10 years.
You talking about the football team or the soccer team?
Yeah, the football team.
Oh, okay.
It was amazing. It was unbelievable how detailed he was.
No, this is Alan. This Alan says he's in Columbia. So
okay,
yeah.
Alan, that's not you then. So, but this guy was amazing. Anyway, what combination? We're going to be all white.
Okay.
Nice and clean, nice and sharp.
All right. So
all white with the garnet, with the helmet stripe and the garnet trimmings. So, yeah, all white today.
Okay. You're talking about for your team with
That's
the
what you're
garnet
talking about.
with the yeah. Well, that's what when you said the garnet helmet stripe.
Well, it's on our cuffs. It's on our collar.
Okay.
It's on the back of our shorts. It's
Gotcha.
a real nice little touch. We've got the helmet stripe all over our uniforms.
So I may as well dig just a little bit deeper. Do you make this decision, or do you meet with the older players? Do you have a little bit of a team meeting to gauge what they want, or is this all coach's call?
The players had no input. I wanted it clean. We've got an all black kit with the garnet finish, and we've got an all white kit with the garnet finish. And they're really clean, really good. We did a kit release video not long ago.
I saw that. That's why we've broke the news here. It'll be the all white tomorrow night with the garnet. I guess I would call it accessories. I don't know if you heard Shane say that the other day. He was having a team meeting, and a wide receiver was asking what accessories they would be wearing.
We don't have accessories. We have a trim. That's it. Pretty simple. Accessories are shin pads and boots. That's it for us.
Shin pads and boots. Tomorrow night. Well, tonight. 7 o'clock, Stone Stadium. Shelley Smith and the women take on Clemson. Tomorrow night, Coach Annan and his ball club, his team, take on Clemson. Number 1, Clemson coming to town. Again, you can go out early. There'll be a tailgate going on in between the two athletic buildings over there, the Rice Athletic Building and the Doty is Academic Center, right? Doty Academic. So over there, kind of where South Carolina, beautiful area over there, really a great place.
Courtyard,
yeah, to do that in the courtyard. So you can get out there. To get it real quick, soccer question from Kaiser before we get it. He says, "Is the cross the best way to score in soccer?"
Actually, statistically, it's not. Crosses inside the box, evidence-based research says crosses inside the box, pullbacks are more successful. But obviously, if you play with two wingers or you play with a three that are two wide players, you tend to cross a lot. But again, it's about, like I said before, it's about getting people on the end of it and getting enough people in the box. But crosses are dangerous. Crosses are a weapon, but I don't think it's always the best way to score. I mean, I don't think there is a best way to score. I think there's never been a bad goal scored, in my opinion. It doesn't matter what it comes off. It goes in the back of the net, it's a goal. So I would say crossing's a big part of, obviously, soccer and how you score goals, but I wouldn't say it's the only way or the best way.
He's Coach Tony. What do we want to call you now? Do we want to go Tommy or do we want to go Tony? Yeah, one of them's got to be the also known as the AKA.
I've been called a lot worse.
Well, yeah, he had a couple letters right there. That's all right. Thank you to Gamecock Larry for calling in. Thank you for swinging by this morning and hanging out. Certainly, good luck to you. And
thank you.
Next week, real quick, what is the schedule? I don't have your schedule right in front of me, but
give everybody Tuesday again against Winthrop
here.
Upstate. We play upstate here again.
Okay.
Tuesday, and then Winthrop Friday here. So we've got 3 on the bounce at home.
Three there at Stone Stadium. So if you don't get out this week to catch them against Clemson, 2 great opportunities next week, Tuesday night against USC Upstate and Friday against Winthrop. We'll look forward to having you back Wednesday morning to kind of recap what happens on Tuesday night.
All right.
That's Coach Tony Annan. Again, get out tonight. The Shelley Smith and the women's team take on Clemson. Tomorrow night, Coach Annan and his team take on Clemson as well. We'll come back. We will get into some college football discussion. The coordinators talking yesterday. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up
on the next Extra Point.
Hey, it's Pearson, and coming up on the Thursday edition of the Extra Point. Now, just a couple days away from the start of the game, we will start getting into the nitty-gritty, some of the matchups, offense, defense. Talked a lot about Georgia State's rushing attack yesterday, the rest of what they will do against South Carolina. Some of the key matchups for the Gamecocks, plus plenty of sound from coordinators. We got a chance to speak to the media yesterday. That and a lot more coming up on the Extra Point.
The Extra Point.
With Pearson, Preston, and Gamecock Central.
9 a.m. to noon.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5. The Game.
The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
A couple things to let you know about on the highways. Highway 302 right there at Main Street. There is an accident there. That's Highway 302 at basically 178. Disabled vehicle could be slowing things down just a little bit. I-26 eastbound at Columbia Avenue. Also.
All right. Yeah, I gotta bring this iPad in here so that I can set it up facing the other way. So that for Coach Annan or anybody that we have in, y'all can see him. But I will get that done. I meant to do that. I knew that last night. I just totally forgot about it. So we will get that. I'll get that fixed. It's sitting at the house. So all right, let's see what we got here. He had a good time. That was certainly entertaining to I think it threw Gamecock Larry a curveball. He wasn't sure what he was supposed to do. Was he supposed to ask Coach Annan a question? Was he supposed to make a pick?
By being a tried and true Gamecock, regardless of the sport, he embraced and said they're gonna win. Gave a prediction. That's a roll with the punches kind of guy right there.
It took him a minute, and then he kind of recovered.
He settled in.
And he settled in, and then he was ready to go. Once he found his rhythm, he was fine.
Love y'all.
New hires for fall before summer ends? Indeed. Their hiring solution helps you attract, interview, and hire. Sponsor a job and instantly receive a short list of candidates whose resumes
are all right.
Sponsored by Lowe's. This Labor Day, save $50 on a Lowe's exclusive Char-Broil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill, just $299.
Let's see here. I got to kind of get all right. Coming up at 8:20. Coach caught me a little off guard being here that early. I was expecting to have 2 segments.
Yeah. He said, I was up, got up a little bit early. Thought, I'll just come in.
Yeah. And that was fine.
Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation, 356-1919 is the number to call for all your roofing and waterproofing needs. The quality and craftsmanship of a Mid-State roofing system are tops in the industry.
Oh boy, let's get the old power cord here on the computer going so that don't lose that.
See all the Mid-State has to offer when you click on midstateroofing.com. Tell them Mid-State twins.
If you have a leak, let Mid-State Roofing take a peek.
356-1919, midstateroofing.com. Recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Okay, I keep hitting stop. Why is it still rolling?
Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results.
Do what?
I keep hitting stop on the editor, and it's just kind of continuing to roll. I moved sleep never to the next stop set.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah. And you want to see him off?
Yeah.
Like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom. Are they still getting uncomplimentary bottles from people who try it themselves? Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of
Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BODY to 321.
For the real story behind pro wrestling's biggest moments, it's something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad.
Jen, do we have any? All I saw was Ray Tanner audio. Do we have anything from the coordinators yesterday? Did I miss that, or? All I saw in my email was
Yeah, some Tanner.
Sponsored by AAA Heating and Air, home of the 1500.
somebody, Dave or somebody would have had to actually like pull it. They would have. He would have had to.
Let me check. I think he sent me a message.
Okay. Even if, don't worry about cutting it if we do have it, even if it's a little longer, I'll just. Oh.
Jim Carlin's 19th ranked Gamecocks hosted Danny Ford's 13th rated Tigers, fresh off Clemson's thrilling 16-10 win in South Bend. The odds makers called this one a toss-up, and it lived up to its billing. Late in the fourth quarter and nursing a precarious 13-9 lead, Carolina's Jay Feltz was about to punt from his own 2-yard line. The legend Bob Fulton tells us what happened next.
Going to wind up with excellent field position with 2.5 minutes remaining. Passing the snap it back. Feltz waiting, standing at the 2. Good snap. He gets the kick away. A beautiful high spiraling punt. Back is Hollis. The ball rolls to the 10, rolls to the 5, and will be down at the 1-yard line. Two-yard punt.
Final score, Gamecocks 13, Tigers 9. And that's our old-timey clip of the day, sponsored by Old Timey Meat Market with 3 locations, Lexington, South Congaree, and St. Andrews Road in Irma.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Early game
With Bill Gunter, Patrick Perez, and Jim Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks.
The Early Game, 107.5
The Game.
$7:22 on your Thursday morning here. Last weekend there was college football. I guess maybe that was the opening. I've always considered tonight to be the true opening night, the opener of college football season, even after last weekend. I just have always been excited the first Thursday night. South Carolina obviously had a run there of opening the season on Thursday night and being the opening game for really college football, whether it was Central Florida in 2005 or Vanderbilt. Later on, there was a couple NC State, North Carolina State games that were on Thursday night. The Southern Mississippi game. Unfortunately, we all remember the Texas A&M game as well. But there was that run of games. And I don't know. I always considered Thursday night kind of as the season opener. And tonight, not a bad little schedule. I would say this is actually a better schedule than what we had last weekend. The 2 highlight games for tonight that should actually be a lot of fun. West Virginia is at Pittsburgh, 7 o'clock, ESPN. Pittsburgh's ranked 17th. The storyline in that game is JT Daniels at West Virginia versus Keaton Slovis, both former Southern Cal quarterbacks that competed against each other out there for the starting job. They will go against each other now with the backyard brawl. This game has not taken place since 2011, and it used to be a very serious all-hands-on-deck type of rivalry, and they will get that going again tonight at 7 o'clock. The other really interesting game on Fox, Penn State at Purdue. And I'm kind of leaning Purdue here tonight. I think the game is in West Lafayette, and I just think Jeff Brahms a good coach. I don't know if he's a great coach, but I think he's a pretty good coach. And I like Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. And Purdue has had a knack for jumping up. Obviously, you saw it last year, jumping up and taking down good football teams, especially in West Lafayette. That can be a difficult place to go and play. And we'll kind of see if it plays out that way tonight. And so it should be a lot of fun. Those are your two big games, again, that you can really kind of sink your teeth into. There's some other ones. By the way, to go back on that, Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite tonight. Purdue is I was looking for the over-under here on Vegas Insider and the way they've done their lines now. I don't like it. But you've got that. And then Pittsburgh tonight at home again, 7.5-point favorite, depending on where you look there. So those are the two big ones tonight that you probably want to watch. There are other games that you may be interested to keep up with and keep an eye on. Let's start with one in-state team playing tonight. ESPN Plus, the South Carolina State Bulldogs heading down to Orlando to the Bounce House to take on Gus Malzahn and Central Florida. You can actually check that out on ESPN Plus. Again, the Bulldogs of South Carolina State down there in Orlando taking on Central Florida. So that's an in-state game that you can kind of keep an eye on tonight if you have ESPN Plus. Number 12, Oklahoma State. That game will be on FS1 tonight. They will host Central Michigan. In terms of the SEC, you've got Tennessee and Missouri, two Gamecock opponents this year that will kick it off tonight. Ball State traveling to Neyland Stadium, 7 p.m. That game will be on SEC Network. And Louisiana Tech traveling to Columbia, Missouri to take on Eli Drinkwitz and the Tigers there. I will probably flip around a little bit to that Tennessee game, but I got a feeling Tennessee runs Ball State out of the building. I think it was Brad Edwards yesterday who was talking about Tennessee in the first half, a pretty good line. We'll have, Brad Edwards. It was Brad Crawford. We have Brian Edwards on later this morning in about an hour. He'll give his picks, and we'll certainly ask him about that one. And then Louisiana Tech and Missouri, again, seeing the Eli Drinkwitz team. And there's a lot of feelings that if Drinkwitz doesn't kind of get things going in a better direction this year, that he could end up on the hot seat. It's going to take a lot for him to be fired. He's had some level of success there in his first two seasons, but this is a guy who I think they're expecting more things from as the season as his tenure goes on there. A few other games tonight that just to kind of keep an eye on. ACC Network, 7:30. VMI is at number 22 Wake Forest. No Sam Hartman for the Demon Deacons. And then you've also got Minnesota, PJ Fleck. Remember, he was the hot name in coaching circles just a few years ago. He's got another pretty good team up there. 9 o'clock, they will host New Mexico State on the Big Ten Network. So a couple big name programs tonight that you can check out. So to me, the official start to college football season. We'll get into a little bit of South Carolina and Georgia State coming up next. Yesterday, we ran our poll on Spencer Rattler, 265 yards over under. That was kind of the discussion. We'll get back into some rushing stats for Saturday night. What do you expect from Marshawn Lloyd? What do you expect from the running game as a whole? What do you hope to see from those things? Because you obviously want a balanced offense, but if you had to see Lloyd perform or Spencer Rattler throw the ball around, what do you kind of want to see from South Carolina's offense? Is it just as simple as competent play calling? There's a lot to get into there as it pertains to the South Carolina offense. We'll get into that a little bit as we come back. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It's the early game, the Thursday morning edition on 107.5 The Game.
The year was 2007, and on November 12, 107.5 The Game went on the air. And since then, we have celebrated with you 2 College World Series titles.
Line drive, right field, base hit! South Carolina wins the College World Series!
Our 15th anniversary celebration on 107.5 The Game is sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, getting you better sooner.
Jackie Bradley makes the catch. South Carolina has back-to-back national titles.
Happy anniversary to us on your home of the Gamecocks.
I don't really know how I feel. I've never been in this situation before, but I know one thing. I'm extremely proud for these players, these coaches, the University of South Carolina National Championship.
107.5 The Game and the new 107.5 The Game app.
Getting a great night of sleep, especially the week leading up to the start of college football season, pretty imperative. You want to be ready to watch all those great games, but you're going to need a great night of sleep to be able to stay up, stay late into the evening, checking out the 10:30, the 11 o'clock, the West Coast games. So make sure you get those great nights of sleep with a Sleep Number bed. I've kind of messed with the firmness of my mattress lately. Wanted to try something a little bit different. Moved it up to 55. Originally had it on 45. And that's the great thing about a Sleep Number bed. You can fit it to your needs. You can change the air in there. You can make it a firmer mattress. You can make it a little bit softer if that's something you like. You can adjust it so your head is propped up a little bit. You can adjust it so your partner's head is propped up a little bit so that when they start snoring, you can stop that. There's a lot of great qualities about a Sleep Number bed, and you can go find out for yourself right now. 2 stores to choose from to go learn all about these great beds. I've been having a Sleep Number bed for over 5 years now, and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Go visit the store in Irmo on Harbison Boulevard across from Buffalo Wild Wings, or you can visit the store in Columbia, 2 Nights Road across from Sand Hills Mall. And right now, you're not going to want to miss Sleep Number's Labor Day special, where all smart beds are on sale. You can save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 limited edition smart bed, plus special financing, subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details, and free premium home delivery on all smart beds. And I said this yesterday, and I'll say it again. You definitely want the premium delivery because they have to set up these beds, and there's a little bit of work to it. It's not just plop down your frame, throw the mattress on it, smack the sheets on there, and go from there. A little bit of work there, and you want the professionals coming and setting up. So that free premium home delivery, it may not sound like much, but when you get an opportunity to get that from Sleep Number, you definitely want to take advantage of it. This deal ends Monday, Labor Day, September the 5th. It's only, again, at a Sleep Number store, one in Irmo and Harbison Boulevard across from Buffalo Wild Wings, the other in Columbia, 2 Nights Road across from Sand Hills Mall. You can visit them on the web, sleepnumber.com. People always ask, why choose proven quality from Sleep Number? I tell them, because every great day starts the night before. Make the switch to Sleep Number today and find out what a great night of sleep is truly like.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
Highway 302 at 178 still is an accident there. And also you'll find one Highway 321 at Charleston Highway. 89 for the high today and tomorrow. Might see some scattered storms earlier on Saturday, but should be clearing later in the evening. Right now, 75, 107.5 The Game.
This football season and every football season, come to campus and catch a game. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game. Find your tickets online at GamecocksOnline.com.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football.
2 days till kickoff.
Others take full advantage of the market. We remain true to who we are. We never charge above MSRP or take advantage of you with add-ons. Love Chevy, I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in day.
Y'all definitely don't want to hear that nose cleaning commercial. It's disgusting. I had to turn one of these channels. Wherever you're watching, I don't know. Oh, I bet they were watching soccer. I guarantee it's on USA. I was trying to think, like, what were they watching?
Best product I've ever used, and amazing. I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point: Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthy. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
All right, let's change the channel here. There's got to be something better on.
Herndon Chevrolet needs your trade. We'll buy your car, even if you don't buy ours. And to prove it, we're willing to beat any written offer by $500. That's right, we'll beat any written offer by $500. Visit Herndon Chevrolet.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education...
All right, well, at least we get ESPN on there, so something.
A job that I can still hold while I serve. That job plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the South Carolina National Guard, aired by the South Carolina Broadcasters Association at this station.
All right, we got some tickets to give away. We will do that, Jen, in the next segment. So I know a lot of people are probably dropping off kids at school right now, and we don't want you dialing while you're in the car drop-off line. So I tell you what, in about probably about 13 minutes, don't hold me to this. I messed up on our commercials yesterday, but at about 7:48, 7:50. We will give away a pair of tickets to Saturday night's game at Williams-Brice Stadium against Georgia State. So plan accordingly there. That'll come up in about 13 to 15 minutes. So we'll do this segment, and when we come back from the next break, we will give away a pair of tickets to Saturday night's game at Williams-Brice Stadium. So that'll be, again, mark calendars accordingly. If you're fixing coffee or you need to go run into the coffee break room or whatever, plan to be back and keep listening for the next segment. And we will give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to Saturday night's game at Williams-Brice Stadium. Also, want to let you know, coming up on Friday, tomorrow, you can join Heath Klein for game time. That is tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Columbia Craft on Green Street. Columbia Craft can be your game day headquarters. Columbia Craft is proudly distributed throughout the Midlands by KW Beverage. So go by and visit Heath Klein tomorrow, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Columbia Craft on Green Street. So again, coming up though in about 12 to 14 minutes, depending on how long the next commercial break is, we will give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to Saturday night's football game against Georgia State. Yesterday, the coordinators talked, and I was talking a little bit about offense. We have some Clayton White as he talked about the defense. We've talked about that defense and some guys that need to step up. Jordan Birch, Jordan Strawn, Devontae Reed is a great name that I think is a guy who we've not talked enough about, but has got to step up. Clayton White talked yesterday about the defense and about Saturday night. Here's what Clayton White had to say regarding his unit going against Georgia State on Saturday night. Oh, we got a little technical issue. That's okay. We'll get some Clayton White here in just a few minutes, but we will get to him. But I want to go back. I mentioned going into the break I was going to talk offense, but I want to flip and talk a little defense because yesterday we did talk Spencer Rattler. But defensively, this is a very good running attack that South Carolina will face. And I think, again, much like I think Georgia State as a whole is a great opening opponent. It's one South Carolina should beat. There's a reason the Gamecocks are an 11-point favorite, although, mind you, remember, they were an 11 to 12-point favorite against North Carolina in 2019. I know it's totally different coaching staffs, and trust me, it's totally different. But I'll just point that out that sometimes people go, oh, double-digit spread, you should win. Blow them out. Well, South Carolina was a double-digit favorite against North Carolina in Charlotte. 2019? I think North Carolina was a double-digit favorite last year in Charlotte in the bowl game. But with all that being said, I think this is a great opening night opponent for South Carolina because it's one you should win, but it's also a game that South Carolina is going to find,
in my opinion, find a lot out about itself. They're going to be able to learn a little bit defensively how they handle the run. And Darren Granger's a pretty good mobile quarterback as well, so it gives you a little bit of a preview of what you can have to face next week with KJ Jefferson. So with all that being said, you look at it and you say, it's a pretty good test. It'll give us an idea. If Darren Granger is able to come in and run effectively against South Carolina, well, certainly That's a little bit of a concern for what KJ Jefferson, who's a bigger quarterback, may be able to do against South Carolina next week when the Gamecocks go out to Fayetteville. And if Georgia State's able to run effectively, if they're able to open holes against that defensive line, or they're able to get to the perimeter, excuse me, too excited, get to the perimeter and beat the Gamecocks. If you're seeing Jemias Williams, I am struggling. Where's my coffee? Early morning radio. If they're able to get to the perimeter and beat South Carolina and get upfield, I'm going to make it. I'm good. That was this has come out of nowhere, Jen, just with my
That's crazy. You're having a break.
Yeah, you're having technical issues, and I'm over here choking basically I'm so excited. I'm just so excited. It's early morning radio. But to finish this rant that I'm going on, Darren Granger last year, 134 carries, 646 yards. Jemias Williams, 128 carries, 859 yards. Obviously, those two guys are back and are expected to be big parts of the offense for Georgia State on Saturday night. And again, because Georgia State is effective at running the football, it does give you, I think, a good idea of what South Carolina will be facing or how they will be able to handle a team like Arkansas, and certainly that Georgia Bulldog team that is much more efficient, much bigger, much stronger, much more talented at running the football in week 2 and week 3. So I think it's a great opportunity for South Carolina on Saturday night to really see where they are at. Last year, South Carolina really struggled stopping the run game. Georgia State's going to show up on this coming Saturday night and be ready to run the football on the Gamecocks. We'll come back. We will get you some of that Clayton White, and we'll give away a pair of tickets to Saturday night's game against Georgia State. You can go and watch that defense all with your own eyes, not having to do it on television, the streaming way that the Gamecocks will be displayed on Saturday night. So you can go to the game. We'll give you a pair of tickets, and we'll play some Clayton White when we come back. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up on the next Game Time.
Hey, it's Heath. Coming up on Thursday, we get you ready for the action in college football that night. We've got a lot going on. Got SEC teams playing. We got 3 ranked teams playing. Got the renewal of a big rivalry in Pittsburgh and West Virginia with the backyard brawl. It's going to be fun. Plus, we continue getting ready for the Gamecocks in Georgia State. We'll see you at 3.
Game Time with Heath Klein. 3 to 6 p.m. on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. ShepherdsGlass.com.
We have a report of an accident, Hardscrabble Road, just north of Clemson Road. Also, Highway 302 at Highway 178. And Piney Woods Road, just before Broad River Road. We do now have a report of an accident there. 89 for the high today and tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sun. Come Saturday, right now, a chance for some scattered storms during the day, but then that'll be clearing out. And in the evening, it will not be too bad and only have a low of about 71. Right now, it's overcast, 75 at 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Dell Technologies.
The Dell Technologies Labor Day event is here. Start a season of productivity with up to 48% off Fostro laptops with 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Upgrade by calling 877-ASK-DELL.
Life matters. The fight was off. James Corbett, known as Gentleman Jim, had shattered 2 knuckles in his last fight, and he simply couldn't punch with his left, much less put together any effective combinations. In his day, boxing was a bare-fisted brawl, and before the days of boxing commissions, there were no guarantees of another opportunity. But Gentleman Jim considered himself the first scientific boxer. He did eventually turn boxing from a brawl into a sport, and it happened this way. Unable to jab with his injured hand, he figured out a new punching motion that would protect his tender knuckles, and the left hook was born. Jim later defeated the great champion John L. Sullivan, and many folks credit that opportunity with his invention of a new punch. I guess some people just quit when adversity comes, and others, they find a new way to punch. This is Stephen Chitty from Christian Life. Remember, life matters, and so do you. Go to clcolumbia.com for in-person and live streaming service times.
Hey, South Carolina, Scott here from Traditions with good news if you're in the market for an engagement ring or for diamond jewelry, because we have the largest selection you'll see anywhere in the Southeast. And whether you're in the market for a traditional mine diamond or for one of these amazing new lab-grown diamonds, we've got you covered. Because whether you're buying mined or lab, you'll be happy to know that at Traditions, we guarantee the trade-in value of both kinds of diamonds at our store. So if the day comes where you want an even bigger diamond, we'll be happy to give you full value you paid for your original when you trade it in. Even better, we have over 1,000 diamond rings in stock, so you'll get to try on pretty much every style imaginable. And if you still don't see exactly the right design, we'll be glad to custom make it for you. And yes, we have interest-free financing for qualified buyers. So come see us and get the ring of your dreams with a diamond of your choice, only at Traditions Fine Jewelers, South Carolina's diamond superstore and customization destination, on Sunset in Lexington and at the Fountain in Sand Hills, where the Midlands get engaged.
Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning, the most trusted and reviewed company in town. Take advantage of their back-to-school sale going on now. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 1075 The Game. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
It's a big decision. Make it a smart one. Every Acura certified pre-owned vehicle comes with a 182-point inspection and gets a 2-year, 50,000-mile additional warranty. For a limited time, get 1.99% APR for 36 months on 17 through 22 Acura ILX, RDX, TLX, MDX. Visit McDaniel's Acura, your Palmetto Acura dealer.
36 payments of $28.64 per month per $1,000 finance. Down payment may vary. Dealer set actual prices with approved credit.
At Churches, we put it all on the table for less. Get 10-piece legs and thighs, 2 large size, 5 honey butter biscuits, and 5 jalapeno peppers starting at just $20. Churches Texas Chicken. Welcome to the great state of flavor. Offer valid at participating locations.
As a business owner, it's important your customers have the best experience possible. That includes a convenient place to park. Schroeder's Towing can help keep your lot and designated spaces available. The last thing you want is your customers to go somewhere else simply because they have no place to park. Schroeder's offers free signage to deter unwanted parking and removal of abandoned vehicles. They have your back 24/7. Schroeder's Towing, 1,100 5-star Google reviews, can't be wrong. 772-7930. 772-7930.
Schroeder's Towing, best hookers in town.
This update is sponsored by AAA Heating and Air, home of the $1,500 buyback. AAA Heating and Air must clear out its warehouse before new government efficiency regulations go into effect in 2023. No deals will be turned down. Call today to get a new unit tomorrow. 803-677-1500.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game.
With Bill Gunter, Patrick Perez, and Jen Jensen.
On your home of the Gamecocks. The early game.
All right, so ticket giveaway.
Game.
All right, let's see if I can get through this segment without coming completely unglued. Apologize.
Working with me. He gets all choked up sometimes, the emotion of it.
That was, where is mine? My coffee's still over there. All right, let's give you a chance right now. Caller number 10 is what I'm being told. Caller number 10, 803-404-6100. A chance to win a pair of tickets to Saturday night's game at Williams-Brice Stadium. Again, caller number 10, 803-404-6100 to win a pair of tickets to Saturday night's game at Williams-Brice Stadium against Georgia State. Go ahead and give us a call. Jen will take caller number 10. We'll give you a pair of tickets. We good in there?
On your mark.
All right.
I blocked the line so nobody had an unfair advantage.
Oh, okay. I see what you did.
Up now.
Good
Yep.
job.
All right,
803-404-6100 is how you can call that. We'll get that taken care of right now. Again, reminder, coming up on Friday, Heath Klein will be live from Columbia Craft, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Green Street. Columbia Craft can be your game day headquarters. Columbia Craft, proudly distributed throughout the Midlands by KW Beverage. So talking about, again, going back to the defensively and what South Carolina needs to do. We've talked a lot, obviously, in the offseason about the offense. Spencer Rattler, Marcus Satterfield, the additions at wide receiver of Corey Rutger and Juice Wells. And to an extent, we have not talked quite as much about the defense, but certainly it is going to be very interesting on Saturday night to see if they can stop the run, to see what they can do to slow down Georgia State. And like I said, Georgia State is an opponent South Carolina should beat, and probably by the end of the game should win by double digits and 2 touchdowns at that. So, as I said earlier this week, I'm not trying to fear monger anybody and tell you, but Georgia State does present some I think great opportunities for South Carolina to learn about themselves, to put some stuff on tape, to improve and get better. Now, Arkansas plays Cincinnati, so it's not like Arkansas in week 2 will not have the same advantage that South Carolina does. Arkansas is going to go play a pretty good Cincinnati team. Cincinnati did lose a lot, but Luke Fickell's a good coach. So Arkansas is going to kind of be on the same plane there with being able to watch film and really be a little bit more prepared than, say, if they were playing Arkansas State or Southwest Arkansas. And the same thing with South Carolina. If they were playing, a Furman or someone like that, this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge. But Georgia State does some things. They get to the quarterback. They were 7th nationally last year in sacks. So, we've talked about that offensive line being ready to come out, being ready to go, and not having first game jitters because there's 4 seniors and a junior. We've talked about the defense, and that's where I go to right now. And a lot of talk, about the Jordans, the defensive ends, Jordan Birch, Jordan Strawn. And I will admit, Jordan Strawn's a very interesting guy. Obviously, there was a transition from Georgia State and the Sun Belt to South Carolina in the SEC. But Jordan Strawn last year made a few plays here and there that showed that he could play at this level, but it was a consistency thing. And I think it was a matter of getting stronger and realizing that he couldn't just use his speed off the edge. So now he's a year developed under Luke Day and should be a better player. And we talk a lot about, well, Jordan Birch needs to do this, and Jordan Birch has got to do that, and Zach Pickens has got to live up to the 5-star status. I look at Jordan Strawn as another guy who really has to show us what made him the nation's sack leader 2 years ago. All right, can you be a threat coming off the edge, or does Clayton White have to continue to rush the passer with linebackers? Do you have to blitz to be able to get home? Clayton White, again, talking to the media yesterday. Here's a little bit of what Clayton White had to say as he met with the media and talked about his defense.
But we have some guys who we haven't really particularly named the captain. We have some guys who's been in our defense who understands the ins and outs and the details. We have, up front, you got the Zach Pickens, and actually Jordan Birch understands the call stretch. Jordan Strawn does as well. Not particularly right now. At linebacker, you got Brad, who's pretty much understands everything, and you have RJ on the back end.
And where does Cam Smith kind of fit in among that group, not only to be a leader, but saying like that may be the most quote-unquote talented pro-ready guy? How does he fit in?
He fit in. Obviously, he definitely fits in on the defense. But he is, when it comes to leadership and being a captain, he's one of our smartest football players in regards of, on the field, and meaning he understands the details. He understands what we're trying to stop. He understands the strengths and weaknesses of all calls. Really good, really smart player. But so we have, it's more, I don't want to say by committee right now, but we definitely, that's what it feels like right now. Yep.
The depth chart that was released earlier this week had Mo as a starter in the middle. What has him at the top? What have you seen from him these last 3-4 weeks that's got him right there?
So Mo Kaba is one of those football players who's I think was born to play football. Just his mentality, his intensity that he brings to practice. I think that the way he practices, the way he plays, just his physicality, his skill set makes him a really good linebacker.
Kind of sticking with Mo, but just you mentioned his skill set. What about his skill set and what he's able to do on the field really translates to what you're asking him to do in your scheme?
Well, the main thing with him is just his physical makeup. I mean, he's 6'2", 240 right now, and he runs very well. And I mean, he has some things that he wants to work on too, as far as of just getting off blocks and diagnosing plays and reading, reacting versus being reactive on plays. But I think right now he's working on it. His skill set to me is he can run, he can hit, he has range. He also can play inside.
Going back to Cam, does he have the right mixture of temperament, confidence, maybe a little ego, and some nasty in him that makes him successful back there?
Absolutely. He's definitely the kind of defensive back and football player that every coach wished they had on their team in regards of the entire makeup of a legitimate cover corner that can cover most guys in the country. Yes, he does. He definitely does.
We saw in the depth chart that Alex Huntley won that second starting defensive tackle spot alongside Pickens. How did he kind of emerge from a pretty crowded group there to win that job?
Y'all really love the depth chart for real. Y'all really, really do. I think Coach Beamer, we talked about it probably for 30 seconds, but it's one of those things where where you can see a guy emerging, who guys coming on, how confident they're playing, the plays they make throughout training camp, and just their durability and their availability.
I'm not going to say, say the words, but you do have a bunch of freshmen who at DB who you've known for a while that you're going to have to probably count on them at times this year. Now that you're a few days away from that, and you got a bunch of those guys who are really close to playing significant snaps for you. Where are you guys at with comfort level in that group?
Yep. I'm going to challenge you guys not to say the word depth chart the rest of this. But we can ask any question, but let's not say the word depth chart. So there are some talented guys back there that's lined up back there. Those guys, they put on a show this August. I'm just going to be honest with you. They really came to work. They came ready out of high school. And those guys, they put the work in from the summer, Zoom meetings, and they put it on the field. And they have physical makeups, and they have football IQ that you cannot coach. And they're going to be really, really, really good football players. And I don't want to go too crazy, but they're still going to be freshmen. They're going to make a mistake. They're going to miss a tackle. They're going to hopefully not blow a coverage. But you guys are going to like them in the future, I promise you.
That's a little bit of Clayton White from yesterday meeting with the media, and you hear him talking. Mo Kaba's another guy, by the way, and obviously we've gotten wrapped up in the NIL stuff with Mo Kaba and what he's been able to go out and do, and it's been a really cool story, and really is probably what NIL should be all about, right? It initially started it by being able to go and cut grass and make money and use his name. Look, I mean, some people out there, you probably know a few people who are like, oh, I had a South Carolina football player cutting my grass. That's pretty neat. And, but he was able to use his name and likeness and obviously turn it into a little bit of a business and has now been able to make a little bit of money off of endorsements with it. But as far as being an on the football field player, it certainly is going to be interesting to see him step up. This was a big recruit. I don't know if people necessarily remember because Kaba's been through so much. The injury, the knee injury, if you remember, he sustained in high school. And that really kind of put him behind the 8 ball coming to college. And he got healthy and was going to, he was going to be expected to contribute, but he just never really seemed to kind of get it going. And now it looks like he's healthy again. It looks like he is ready to step in and be a key contributor. Obviously, again, I think you go back that COVID year, the weird way that they did everything, I think stunted so many players' growth because of how they practiced and the way meetings took place and all the weird things. But again, this was a top 250 player coming out of Clinton, North Carolina. We'll continue talking about that. Brian Edwards with Vegas Insider coming up at 8:20. Kerry Tharp, Darlington Raceway president, coming up at 8:45 this morning. A lot to get to. Final hour of the Thursday program coming up next.
Celebrating our 15th anniversary is Columbia's Sports Talk Station, sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
WNKT-FM, Eastover, Columbia.
107.5 The Game.
A Cumulus media station.
If you have an IRS problem, getting accurate legal advice could help get all this behind you right now. Hi, I'm local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. To get the best results for our clients, we stay on top of the law and the IRS rules and regulations. It's important to us to get you back on track and in compliance legally without worry for your future. At the Ecton Law Firm, we've handled hundreds of cases for everyday hardworking people like you right here in the Carolinas. Don't face the IRS alone. Know your legal rights. Call me to set up your appointment. The first visit is completely free and confidential. You'll meet with a licensed attorney in person at our office in Irmo, just off I-26. If you're facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call me, John Ecton,
he had
at
a little food poisoning.
803-771-9800. That's 803-771-9800. Or go to EctonLawFirm.com. Carolinas, if you have an IRS issue, you need a local attorney. You need me, John
What
Ecton.
is it about baseball that makes it feel just right to have a beer on your lunch break? The season is in full swing. Come into Twin Peaks and grab a 29-degree draft beer and celebrate baseball being back. Can't make lunch? No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. And don't forget our 29-degree man-sized local craft beer drafts. Only at Twin Peaks, the ultimate sports lodge.
Wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
The demand for your used car is at an all-time high, and it's never been worth more. Herndon Chevrolet needs your trade. We'll buy your car, even if you don't buy ours. And to prove it, we're willing to beat any written offer by $500. That's right, we'll beat any written offer by $500. Visit Herndon Chevrolet today.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Smile. 803-630-592.
Schroeder's Towing wants to remind you that the game isn't over, even after the final whistle.
Yeah, how about that turnover?
Oh, yeah.
Or not turning over? I guess it's a bad time to bring up the false start.
Schroeder's Towing always has your back, every day and every game day. When the final whistle blows, we're ready to tow. The fastest response comes from the most trusted and reliable name in towing. Schroeder's Towing, the best hookers in town.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
The early game.
And the one and last thing I said, not me said, it's just us saying.
With Bill Gunter.
It's yours, boys and girls and babes. Let's go.
You're drunk. And Jen Jensen.
I can't even. I mean,
On your home of the Gamecocks.
I don't know. I'm just like, everything's going wrong, and I don't know what to do. I don't know, but I might go back to bed.
107.5.
I'm pretty good at drinking beer.
The Game.
Yeah!
8:01 on a Thursday morning. Hope you're doing well, getting up, getting out to work. Like I said yesterday, I got a feeling work production will start to slow down dramatically across the state as Gamecock and Tiger fans get ready for the coming weekend. Let's at least try and make it to noon today. How about that? Try and get everything done that you need to do, because I know some of you are going to start getting excited for college football tonight. We got a pretty good lineup. You know, the one thing that I said this, I don't know if I said it on this program or not, or somewhere else. I might have said it at a speaking engagement that I had, there's a lot of things about college football that I'm not like crazy about, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop watching. I love the sport. I love the pageantry of it. I don't know, growing up watching football, I guess it's going to take a lot to really turn me off from college football, from watching it. The conference realignment doesn't bother me. Name, image, likeness is what it is. The transfer portal I really despise, because it's made, as we saw with Jordan Atkinson, the Blitnikoff Award winner that went from Pittsburgh to Southern Cal, it's made free agency in college football really not a lot of fun, where used to be you recruit and you hope to build a player, over time. That player develops each and every year, or if you get a prized recruit, he's the foundation of your program. Jamar Gibbs is a great example at Georgia Tech, who is, he looked around, said, this program stinks. We're only projected to win 3 or 4 games. I'm going to go somewhere where I can win a championship. And he was able to transfer for free. Now, maybe some of you out there say, well, that's the way it should be, or that's the way it goes. But I don't know. Something about that rubs me the wrong way. But one thing that I really don't like about, and this has nothing to do with college football in and of itself. It has to do with televisions and everything. But a long time ago, there used to be really fun Thursday night games. Like your lead in for the college football weekend. Thursday nights used to be, to me, entertaining. You'd get fired up. You used to have some SEC games. South Carolina played a couple Thursday night ball games, not just to start the season, but, during the season. Obviously, it was the game against number 2 Auburn here in Columbia that people still talk about, because the fans cheered when South Carolina lost by a touchdown, and Steve Spurrier got upset and said, stop cheering. We lost the game. The Thursday nights used to be pretty entertaining college football nights. And now the NFL has just kind of taken that over. They've kind of removed college football from the game. But you look at it, we've got a pretty good one this week. Thursday, September the 22nd, you've got West Virginia and Virginia Tech. That'll be actually a pretty good one as well. But I think that was one thing that I really missed. I remember, watching a Thursday night game with my father back in the 90s, and some of you will remember this game when Virginia beat Florida State. That was a Thursday night game in October. I think I'd come home from like a middle school basketball tryout, so it was kind of later in the year, and we watched that, and Warwick Dunn couldn't score there on the final play, and Virginia won 33-28, and it ended that long winning streak that Florida State had in the ACC. And you used to get some really interesting, fun Thursday night games, and it would be one game, obviously, on a Thursday night, but it was kind of your lead in to the weekend. It gave you a little bit of an appetizer. It kind of got you going just a little bit, and the NFL is slowly moved college football out of that Thursday night area. Again, there's some games this year, but there's it's not like it used to be. That's my old man rant of the day. But tonight, let's enjoy it. Let's celebrate. There's a couple pretty good games that you can get involved with tonight. It'll start again at 7:00 with West Virginia traveling to Pittsburgh. Should be a pretty good game. Pittsburgh's number 17 in the country. West Virginia will start J.T. Daniels, who is now kind of bounced around. He's kind of turning into the Eric Stevenson of college football quarterbacks. He's gone from Southern Cal to Georgia, now to West Virginia. So he's one school behind Eric Stevenson, I guess. But tonight, he will be the starter for West Virginia. Pittsburgh will start the other Southern Cal quarterback, Keaton Slovis. So you've got a battle of Southern Cal quarterbacks taking place on ESPN at 7:00. That one should be a lot of fun. 8:00, pretty good Big Ten game. Penn State and Purdue from West Lafayette. Should be kind of entertaining to see Aiden O'Connell and the Purdue Boilermakers, if they can, again, by the number, pull the upset. They're a 3.5-point dog. I don't know, though, if you would necessarily label that an upset if Purdue were to win that football game. It would actually, I probably actually would pick them. We'll get Brian Edwards' insight from Vegas Insider coming up here in about 15 minutes. Anonymous texter says Notre Dame, Michigan played Thursday night back in the day. It must have been way back in the day. I'm not sure I remember that at all. And Ricky saying, I think it's West Virginia Pitt this Thursday. Yeah, this Thursday is West Virginia. Tonight is West Virginia Pittsburgh. I was saying September 22nd, another Thursday night game, is West Virginia and Virginia Tech. So I apologize for the confusion there. But tonight, you're right, is West Virginia and Pittsburgh. But you do get one other West Virginia Thursday night game. And Virginia Tech kind of became known for those Thursday night games, right? That was Enter the Sandman, and they'd blare that and run out the tunnel. And Virginia Tech kind of built a little bit of a reputation there for that atmosphere because of Thursday night games played up there in Blacksburg. And again, it was a lot of that. So it really interesting to see how it's all kind of evolved. And Scott weighing in says, I believe we played West Virginia on a Thursday night. Might have been when Thanksgiving, when Major Harris was their quarterback. I think it was the year. I don't know if Major Harris was the quarterback. I know what year you're talking about. 80, 90. No, okay, I don't know what year. I'm just going to start ballparking and guessing years. But it was early 90s, and you are correct. South Carolina played West Virginia following the Clemson game on a Thursday night, I think the week after Thanksgiving. So, yeah, there's been some interesting Thursday night. I mean, look, the birth of Sandstorm, what everybody points to, was against Mississippi on a Thursday night. South Carolina had a top 10 win over Kentucky on a Thursday night. There have been some fun Thursday night games at Williams-Brice Stadium that didn't involve the season opener. So, but tonight you get a good little schedule of games. Again, the highlighted games there: West Virginia and Pittsburgh, Penn State at Purdue. Again, South Carolina State traveling to Central Florida tonight. That game will be on ESPN Plus. ACC Network at 7:30 will have VMI at Wake Forest. You can check out that game. CBS Sports Network will have Alabama A&M versus University of Alabama Birmingham. I'm just reading the schedule to you right now, just giving you the rundown of games. Louisiana Tech at Missouri on ESPNU. New Mexico State at Minnesota, 9 o'clock on Big Ten Network. And if you want to stay up, if you've just decided that Friday is gone and that you're not even going to worry about going to work, or you're going to be completely useless and this is how you want to start your season, 10:30 tonight, Cal Poly at Fresno State. FS1. So you can stay up all night. You just think about how television does things, right? Like, ESPN, they come up with all these gimmicky things. We saw I actually did like it, the 24-hour basketball hoops marathon. Remember that a couple years? I'm surprised they've actually stopped doing it, but they would start a game out in Hawaii at midnight, and obviously it would be a little bit different. Then they would kind of move back through the time zones there and have games played all night. I remember South Carolina playing a day game against Baylor. I remember Wofford playing like a 6 a.m. game. I thought it was a really cool way to start the season. I've actually been surprised that they don't do something similar for college football where, again, you have Hawaii play basically a midnight game, which what is Hawaii? Is Hawaii 6 hours behind us? Does that seem right? Is that mic's off? But you're also on the phone. I apologize. I'm harassing.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, something like that. I just say that because I'm actually surprised that we've never seen them do. Yeah, it's 2:09 out there, so 6 hours, right? 6 hours. No, this is according to Google, by the way. I'm surprised that they haven't done a 24-hour, college football marathon to kick off the season. You throw a few high school games in during the day on a Friday, lead you into Saturday. You would think ESPN somewhere along the line somebody would have thought, well, this is a genius idea. People love college football. Let's go about doing it that way. But maybe it's a good thing they haven't. 803-404-6100 coming up in about 10 minutes. Brian Edwards of Vegas Insider will join us. We will catch up with him and get his picks for the coming weekend, what games he likes, and get you an opportunity to maybe win a little bit of money, hit something on a parlay card, whatever it is you like to do. So we'll catch up with him coming up in about 35 minutes. We'll catch up with Kerry Tharp there, Darlington Raceway. There is the Cookout Southern 500 this weekend taking place down there, the first race of the playoffs for NASCAR, and it should be a lot of fun. People have already been pulling into Darlington, getting ready there in the infield, taking the RVs out there. So I know it's a fun, exciting time down at Darlington, and we will continue on with our NASCAR discussion. Jen has given me our sheet here, which it's like getting a test that I didn't prepare for. You remember you ever get those and you get the score back and you just don't want to even look at it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in third. Reggie's got 94 points. Jen's got 79. I got 69 points, and Kerry has 64. So, yeah, it's like a test that comes back and it's just got red on it, and I failed it.
You haven't failed. You're just not top on the teacher's list.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got that. So we'll catch up with Kerry here in about 35 minutes. Again, Brian Edwards coming up in about 9 minutes here as well. Want to remind you, Heath Klein will be on location tomorrow at Columbia Craft, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can start your weekend right there with him. Actually, a great place to maybe go and hang out before heading over to the soccer match. You can go hang out with Heath Klein, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Columbia Craft on Green Street, and you can kind of make your way over to Stone Stadium and catch South Carolina Clemson, the men's soccer match over there tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Again, Columbia Craft is proudly distributed throughout the Midlands by KW Beverage. You can make Columbia Craft your game day headquarters. Again, Heath Klein there from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, and you can go by and hang out with him. 803-404-6100. Our good buddy Brian Glenn sending me a text message and just letting everybody know the former WLTXer and host of the Barnyard, Matt Berry, will be on the play-by-play tonight for Pittsburgh, West Virginia. So a former news anchor here in town who's gone on to bigger and better things will be on the play-by-play tonight. Thank you, Brian, for keeping us updated on that. When we come back, we'll catch up with Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. He has sent me some of his picks. He says he's ready to talk college football. I'm ready to get back into this segment. Coming up tomorrow as well, Patrick and I will make our weekly picks as Patrick will be joining us each and every Friday from 7 to 8 each and every Friday. He'll be part of our pick segment. So he is maybe not a full-time member of the program, but he has not gone far. But next up, Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. If you've got some games you want to ask about, send them in on the text line, 803-404-6100. It is the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Our 15th anniversary celebration on 107.5 The Game
is sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, getting you better sooner.
On your home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game and the new 107.5 The Game app. the game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
Up in the Chapin area, we have a report of an accident, Amex Ferry Road at Long Pine Road. Also, Hardscrabble Road, just north of Clemson Road. There's an accident there, the other side of town, of course. Augusta Highway at Beltline Boulevard, we have a report of a tie-up. And Piney Woods Road, just before Broad River Road. Going to be warm, kind of nice today. 89 for the high. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. 89. It's overcast right now. It's 76 at 107.5 the game.
Apologize. I've been a little out of it with the live stream day. It feels like with Coach Annan and trying to do some other things that I've feel like I've been playing behind on the whole show, but I feel like we've had a good show. I feel like we've done well. So right now I am scheduled to be in Atlanta tonight to go to a Braves game, so we will see how that goes as well.
But with Rocket, you get an advantage. You can lock your rate for 90 days while you search for a home. If rates drop within 3 years of buying your home, you'll get exclusive savings from Rocket Mortgage to refinance to a new lower rate. We'll help you lock it and drop it so you can buy today. That's the Rocket Advantage. Call 8337-ROCKET or go to therocketadvantage.com.
Raymond Yawtsy here for eBay Motors. You're driving along.
Yeah, alrighty. Yeah, I just
You hit the horn. Jeez, it sounds like a goose in distress. Time to head over to eBay Motors. They have horns for every make and model, not to mention horn pads, steering wheels, wiring, and more. 122 million parts. You can even go for an upgrade. That looks like Mr. Cutoff Man needs a new seat cover. Try eBay Motors, pal. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Sponsored by Mattress Firm. The hottest summer deals are at Mattress Firm.
I don't know how many people watch Dancing with the Stars. I'm just glancing at Twitter and what's happening and what's trending, and it says Dancing with the Stars fans slam shows awful season 31 cast after names of contestants leaked. I'm not even going to look to see what the cast of the names are. All right. What else was I doing here? Let's see. I don't know if I have.
Call 753-1495 or visit CantyCanFixIt.com. Canty Can Fix It.
This football season and every football season, come to campus and catch a game. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game. Find your tickets online at GamecocksOnline.com.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football. Today's still kickoff. Others take place there.
I'm going to go back and read some text messages from earlier.
I-26 at Harvest at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. Wash your teeth and brush your teeth. But what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying it's the best product I've ever used. And it's amazing. I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthy. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life. Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
What am I doing here? Where are we going? What is my
The early game. On your home, Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
803-404-6100. That's how you can join us this morning. If you want to send in a text message and ask maybe about a particular game, as we are joined now by good buddy Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com, where he is senior handicapper, also runs MajorWager.com. You can make those part of your, I would say, your Saturday morning reading to prepare yourself for a game day. But, Brian, I think we would both agree you can't really just start looking at games on Saturday morning. It's a process that you probably need to start on Monday, Tuesday at the latest, correct?
I agree, indeed. But, yeah, especially because there's a lot of new stuff to tackle Saturday morning because you get your first quarter spreads, some team totals, and things of that nature you might be interested in.
Yeah, so start early is what we are trying to tell you. Make sure you start early and get that taken care of. And it's good to have you back. Feels like it's been a while. We did talk to you about some UFC not too long ago, but now we get to get into the juicy stuff, the college football season. We've talked a few over-under season win totals, and just to revisit that for just a second as we get really going tonight, if somebody wants to jump in late, give me 2 or 3 of your favorite season win totals that you've been playing.
I forget if we touched on this one. This one was kind of a late ad for me. Mississippi State over 6.5. Now, some of the other ones have been, hit hard and have some, high prices. And if any of them are above minus 150, I would say be careful with your amounts. That's, a cut like the Baylor over 7.5 has been juiced up to like minus 170 or minus 180. So I wouldn't put as much on that, but quick review: Mississippi State over 6.5, Ole Miss over 7.5. That one's another one that's juiced up pretty good. Baylor over 7.5, Pitt over 8 or 8.5, and Georgia Tech under 3.5, and Fresno State over 8.5. And that one's another one that's been juiced up that I got at minus 125.
There you go. So just a few over-unders there as we make our way into the season tonight and obviously through the weekend. Let's get to some of the ones in particular that you like. Let's highlight those to begin with here this morning. Again, Brian Edwards joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at VegasBEdwards is the way to do that. Game tonight, the backyard brawl. Brian, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, Keaton Slovis versus JT Daniels. Pittsburgh 17th in the country. They did lose Kenny Pickett, but again, Keaton Slovis steps in. They also lost Jordan Atkinson, which I think is a bigger loss for Keaton Slovis, but you're going with the Panthers tonight.
Yeah, and several reasons. One, look, nothing was fluky about Pitt last year. I mean, they were 60-1 long shot odds to win the ACC at this time last year, but they went 11-3 straight up, 10-4 against the spread. They returned 15 starters. They were plus 1,862 in net yards. 9 of their 11 wins were by double-digit margins. Keaton Slovis, the transfer from USC, is a good replacement for Pickett. 58-24 career TDI&T ratio, 26 career starts, so plenty of experience. He's not Addison, but Kanata Mumfield is a nice transfer from Akron, which didn't exactly have the greatest quarterback play last year. But as a true freshman, Kanata Mumfield had 63 receptions for 751 yards and 8 touchdowns. They've got their second best receiver, Jared Wayne, back. They've got a good tight end and Gavin Bartholomew. 4 touchdown receptions last year. They've got their entire O-line back. They've got 3 veteran running backs back that combined for 16 rushing touchdowns. All 3 of them were over 500 yards rushing, all at about 5.0 yards per carry average. The defense has 3 first-team All-ACC guys back, a second-team All-ACC guy in the defensive end, Baldonado, who had 9 sacks and 9 QB hurries last year. They've got at least 6 NFL players on their defense, and that's Narduzzi's side of the ball. And I like them -7 tonight. Now, a lot of books have moved to 7.5. I think you should buy the half point to the key number of 7. And West Virginia, only 4 starters back on defense. And if you're familiar with my work, I've never been very enamored with JT Daniels. He's probably a good kid, but I've just never understood his 5-star status and why everybody thought he was a Heisman contender last year because he had 4 decent games against bad defenses late in the 2020 season.
Jen, I feel like that should be the motto of this program. Gunner's probably a good kid, but I've never understood why 107.5 The Game puts him on radio. I like that from Brian there. He's probably a good kid, but I don't know. He might be a good kid, but man, he's not a good quarterback.
I was talking about JT Daniels, not Bill Gunner.
No, I know. That's what I was just saying.
Don't change it now. Come on.
No, there's
We're
a
looking
lot.
forward to you saying that.
He said JT Daniels. I'm just, as he said it out loud, I started laughing because I was like, there's a lot of people that are listening right now who'd go, Gunner's probably a good kid, but man, he's not a good radio host. I don't know why he's there, but that was pretty good there. So Pittsburgh tonight. If you heard Brian there correctly, if you see it at 7.5, he likes buying it down to 7. Real quick, not a game that you've sent me as a play, but I do want to ask you because I like Purdue. Aiden O'Connell, Jeff Brom at home. They tend to win games like this. Penn State rolls in 3.5, 4 is what seems to be the number. I guess it wouldn't be an upset if Purdue wins, although they're an underdog. But again, that's a close number. I like the Boilermakers tonight. Just your thoughts real quick on that game.
Yeah, 8-4 against the spread. Last 12 as a home underdog under Jeff Brom. It's a pass for me. I'll be monitoring it closely. Would love for either team to get out to a 14-0 lead and get some line value on the other team, perhaps on a in-game live bet because I think it'll be a tight game. No opinion. Hard pass for me. I think both teams are going to be pretty good.
Gotcha. All right. So that's the one other interesting game for, I guess, those are the two kind of big games tonight. You do have Tennessee again hosting Ball State. You also got Louisiana Tech and Missouri. You got Minnesota hosting New Mexico State as well. Let's continue on here with some of the games you like. Another one that you sent me last night that you wanted to get into a little bit is North Carolina State. Talk a little bit about the Wolfpack and what you see from them this weekend as they will travel. They're traveling to Greenville and to take on East Carolina.
Yeah, very high on NC State. Have them 8 in my power rankings. 10 starters back on defense that was second in the ACC, gave up only 19.7 points per game, and gets star linebacker Peyton Wilson back. He had a season-ending injury in week 2 last year. He led the ACC in tackles in 2020, one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And Devin Leary threw for 3,433 yards with a 35-5 TDI-NT ratio last season. He lost his best receiver, but he's got 4 of his top 5 pass catchers back. Now, this line, I got it at 9.5 early in the summer. It's moved to last night. There was still like 1 or 2 11s left, but most were at 11.5. I consider 11 a key number, like 3, 7, 10, 14, etc. Think like 35 to 24 final or 28 to 17 final. So if your number's 11.5, buy it to 11. Just in case it hits right there to get the push. It's not a fade of ECU. They've got a good quarterback in Holton Allers. They've got a first-team all AAC running back returning, and they'll probably win 7 or 8 games, which is pretty good for their standards since Ruffin McNeil left. And NC State's a team that if they weren't playing at Death Valley at Clemson, had that game in Raleigh, I'd probably be picking them to win the ACC, but I stopped short of that because they do have to go on the road to face the Tigers. But I think NC State gets rolling with a week 1 win at ECU. I think they get separation in the mid-late third quarter, win by like 14 to 17 points.
2 SEC games on your list. You got 4 picks, and let's be clear about this. I might ask Brian about a few other games, but he has got a 4-pick weekend basically, and so we've said Pittsburgh tonight, and he just mentioned North Carolina State. 2 SEC games, 1 on Saturday, 1 Sunday night. Let's start with the Arkansas Razorbacks hosting Cincinnati.
Yeah, so Sam Pittman did an outstanding job in the portal to fill some roster holes. He got 9 players to rank 10th nationally, according to 24/7 Sports, just transfer-specific guys. KJ Jefferson is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country, 21-4 TDI-NT ratio last year. Also led the team in rushing with 664 rushing yards and 6 touchdowns. I think true sophomore Rocket Sanders is going to be the second biggest breakout player in the SEC behind only Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson. He didn't get near enough touches last year. Still went for 578 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 5.1 yards per carry. They got a former 5-star recruit in Jaden Hasselwood out of the portal from Oklahoma to help replace Treylon Burks, who they're going to really miss. They also got a wide receiver in Matt Landers, who averaged 25.7 yards per catch at Toledo last year. He started his career at Georgia. They get Jalen Catalon, a third-team All-American in 2020. He had a midseason season-ending injury last year and missed the last 7 games. But even without him, they go 9-4 straight up, 8-4-1 against the spread. Cincinnati's still going to be solid, but they lost the third most players of any program to the NFL draft, behind only LSU and Georgia. As they had 9 guys get drafted. They're still going to be solid this year, but they're walking into a hornet's nest in Fayetteville on Saturday. This fan base is fired up. Their AD, Hunter Yurachek, has just done phenomenal work with the hires of Sam Pittman and Eric Musselman. And Hogs Athletics has never been, or at least in my recent memory, has not been at this level that they are right now. They're kicking ass and everything right now.
Let's get with one more SEC game, LSU. I love this game. It depends, I guess, where you're looking at it. -3.5, -3 is the line there Sunday night against Florida State. And I'm with you. Your thoughts, why you like the Tigers over the Seminoles -3 or 3.5?
Well, first off, FSU has had 4 losing seasons in a row. Mike Norvell is 6-12 in 18 games against Power 5 programs, and 8 of those 12 losses have been by double-digit margins. We've got 3 big factors going for us. We've got the home crowd advantage or noise advantage in New Orleans. FSU's taking a big contingent over there, but they'll still get drowned out by the LSU fans. We also have a sizable advantage between the head coaches, and we've got the quarterback advantage. Kelly hasn't named a starter. He's been coy, but it's definitely going to be Arizona State transfer Jaden Daniels, who had a 17-2 TDI-NT ratio as a true freshman at ASU. Didn't have the best season last year, but that program really started going south when the NCAA got involved. They had to fire a bunch of assistants. And so it was just a bad situation, but he's an excellent dual threat quarterback. He's got one of the best receiver groups in the country. They bring back their top 5 pass catchers. Phil Steele's national unit rankings ranked LSU's receivers 5th in the country. Their D-line 8th. College Football News ranked their secondary 3rd. They've got 5 transfers in the secondary that all have just a massive amount of experience. In fact, between them, they've got 147 career starts, including 65 career starts between Joe Fauci and Greg Brooks at Arkansas. Both guys were Louisiana natives, not recruited by Ed Orgeron, who have returned home. Like I said, the D-line is elite. Ali Gay, BJ Ojolari, Mason Smith, all those guys are going to play in the NFL. LSU -3 is a gift, in my opinion.
I'm with you on that. I really, I'll have to figure out if I want to put that on our list tomorrow with Patrick or if I'm just going to make it my lock of the week. Real quick before we let you out here, South Carolina, Georgia State. Your thoughts on that one? Spread's 11-12, depending on where you look at it, where you can get it. Your thoughts on South Carolina and Georgia State?
You know, I grabbed 11 early in the summer, and then it shot up to 13.5, and I came back with a good percentage of it. Grabbing the half point, Georgia State +14. So I've got an 11-14 hedge. I write an article every week for Gamecock Central, and in that I said team total over 33.5 for South Carolina, but that's a small opinion. Look, Georgia State, you remember they had a lead deep into the 4th quarter at Auburn. In fact, TJ Finley had to make a spectacular play on 4th and goal when Auburn was down by 5. To throw a touchdown pass to beat Georgia State. And they won the opener outright at Tennessee in 2019. And they only lost 15 lettermen. Georgia State's going to give them a tough game. I think I'm confident South Carolina will win. Like I said, I've got a little bit more on -11, but I'm hoping to hit the hedge, but I won't lose much if Georgia State covers. Georgia State's going to give them fits. South Carolina may pull away and barely get a cover. We'll see.
He is Brian Edwards. You can listen to him every week right here on Thursdays. We'll continue to do it. Look forward to having you back next week. Glad it's football season. Hey, I didn't get a chance to ask you about a few more games, but I know you've got other engagements you've got to do, and we got NASCAR going on around here this weekend. Darlington, the Cookout Southern 500. So, Brian, good luck this weekend. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Vegas B. Edwards is where you do that. Look forward to catching up with you next week.
Thanks, Gunner. Let me throw out one more money line parlay that should pay +150. Let's put Pitt, Arkansas, and Boston College in it. BC is at home to Rutgers. Enjoyed it, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, I apologize. He had sent me the money line parlay as well, and I forgot to mention that. Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. He'll be part of the program each and every week at about 8:15. Might back him up a few minutes to make sure we got enough time for him. We'll come back. We will talk a little bit about that. Look at a few other games. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It's the early game on 107.5 The Game.
The year was 2007, and on November 12, 107.5 The Game went on the air. And since then, we have celebrated with you 2 women's national championships in hoops.
A spectacular performance, and South Carolina has won the national championship.
Our 15th anniversary celebration on 107.5 The Game is sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, getting you better sooner.
South Carolina has captured its second national championship. Tears of triumph in 2022.
Happy anniversary to us on your home of the Gamecocks.
It comes with a great deal of pressure. Pressure because we were the number 1 team in the country throughout the entire season. Pressure to come into the NCAA tournament and be the favorites.
107.5 The Game and the new 107.5 The Game app.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
Amix Ferry Road at Long Pine Road up in Chapin, an accident there. Also find one Augusta Highway at Beltline Boulevard. Out in Lexington, Nazareth Road at Longs Pond Road, we have a report of a tie-up as well. 89 for the high today and tomorrow. Going to be kind of nice. A little bit overcast right now, 76 at 107.5 The Game.
If you have IRS tax problems, it can seem like a vicious cycle that never ends, year after year. Just getting the mail can be stressful and overwhelming. Don't let it ruin your life. There is a solution. Since 2008, the attorneys at Ecton Law Firm have devoted their practice to the resolution of tax problems for individuals and businesses across the Carolinas. We have the knowledge and experience and are dedicated to the success of each client. We are local attorneys with local solutions. At the free initial consultation, we'll listen to your concerns, your goals, and explain the systematic process we use in solving your tax problem. From that initial meeting, you'll see there is a solution. We're dedicated to improving your life by solving your tax problems. If we sound like someone you want to work with, take that first step. Give us a call at 803-771-9800 or go to ectonlawfirm.com. You'll be glad you did.
Hi, everybody. This is Woody Wyndham here to talk about Pioneer Tree Service. Pioneer Tree Service has more than 4 decades of helping homeowners maintain and manage trees on their property. Their skilled crew offers customized solutions that match your needs and budget. Tree trimming and tree removal can be dangerous. You need to trust the people that are doing the job. Before attempting to remove limbs, call Pioneer Tree Service for a free quote. They remove limbs safely and make sure that future growth is directed away from potential trouble areas such as roof lines and driveways. Cutting down trees takes more than a chainsaw. Even branches can weigh thousands of pounds, and their removal must be handled with care. Pioneer Tree Service offers a full complement of state-of-the-art heavy equipment, from track hose to bucket trucks to safely remove trees and stumps from your property. And no matter where you live, the Gantt girls can get there. And I want you to call them at 803-794-8253.
Zero-Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning, the most trusted and reviewed company in town. Take advantage of their back-to-school sale going on now. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $119 when you mention me, Bill Gunner, at 1075 The Game. Easily schedule your cleaning online at ZeroResColumbia.com.
Hello, my name is Joe Wilson, Member of Congress. I'm honored to serve the people of the 2nd District of South Carolina and want to make sure you know that our office is here to help you. Red tape can be overwhelming. So if you need assistance with veterans benefits, Social Security, Medicare, or other issues, please contact the office at area code 803-939-0041 or the website joewilson.house.gov. We are here to help you. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Football season is grilling season, and Jack Oliver's Pool Spa and Patio is South Carolina's premier source for the Big Three: Weber, Traeger, and Big Green Egg Grills. Blackstone Griddles, too. I'm Jack Oliver. Grill all your tailgate favorites to perfection with a premium gas, charcoal, or pellet grill, then top it all off with something sizzling from your Blackstone griddle. For grills, griddles, patio furniture, hot tubs, and saunas, shop in store or online at Jack Oliver's Pool Spa and Patio, Forest Drive in Columbia, and jackoliverpools.com.
Hey, it's Terry Ford from 107.5 The Game, hanging out with our buddy Adam Vance from Sound and Images. Adam, everybody knows about the events that you folks do over at SNI, but there's a lot more to Sound and Images. Please explain.
Terry, yes, thank you for asking. It's almost like we scripted this.
Never.
No.
We would never script any of this, Adam.
No, fingers crossed. Pinky lock, whatever. But we have really upped our commercial AV installation division. So Sound and Images is very big on installing all types of commercial AV equipment, from your video conferencing.
All right. Trying to do official radio stuff. Official radio stuff. Again, apologize. Not been just one of those mornings where the live stream has been a little bit harder. Oh, I want to smack my knee again on the. All right, we're back. Eight 803-404-6100.
If you hear something you want to discuss this morning, big thank you to Brian Edwards for joining us there. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Vegas B Edwards. Again, his picks for his legitimate picks for the week. Again, I asked him about Penn State tonight and Purdue. He didn't really have a play there. And I asked him about South Carolina, Georgia State, and he did not have a play there. But his actual picks for the week, if you're following him, if we're tracking him, would be Pittsburgh -7 tonight, North Carolina State. I think he said 11. I need to go back and look at that. North Carolina State on the road at East Carolina this weekend, and I wanted to go back and confirm the number he said because I heard him say it, and for some reason I didn't have that same number. But LSU -3 and Arkansas also his picks for the weekend. So that's kind of what he's got going there with his picks. So if you're tracking him, if we're keeping up with how he does, we would base him on those 4 games for the weekend. Reminder, tomorrow morning, Patrick Brett will be on from 7 to 8 a.m. with us, and he will be joining me for our usual season picks competition. So we will have that for you as well. Jen, probably do that maybe around 7:30-ish, I think, is maybe the time we shoot for with Patrick to do our picks contest. So we're not jammed up by the top of the hour. So, yeah, we'll do that. So I look forward to talking with Patrick tomorrow. He'll hop back on the live stream with us as well, so you'll be able to catch up with him, and I'm sure Polly the dog and all the good stuff that we have going there. Again, if you want to be a part of the program, 803-404-6100. You can join us via our live stream. Go to youtube.com, search 1075 The Game, click join, subscribe, be a part of the program. Want to remind you, join Heath Klein for Game Time Football Friday. That is tomorrow for those of you that have not looked at the calendar or just having a rough week. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Columbia Craft on Green Street. Columbia Craft can be your game day headquarters. Columbia Craft is proudly distributed throughout the Midlands by KW Beverage. So go visit Heath tomorrow, 3 to 6 p.m. at Columbia Craft. Coming up next, we catch up with Kerry Tharp. Want to give him as much time as possible this week. Obviously, the Cookout Southern 500 down in Darlington. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. We'll talk with him next. You're listening to the Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
Here's what's coming up
on the next Extra Point.
Hey, it's Pearson, and coming up on the Thursday edition of the Extra Point, now just a couple days away from the start of the game, we will start getting into the nitty-gritty, some of the matchups, offense, defense. Talked a lot about Georgia State's rushing attack yesterday, the rest of what they will do against South Carolina, some of the key matchups for the Gamecocks, plus plenty of sound from coordinators. We got a chance to speak to the media yesterday. That and a lot more coming up on the Extra Point.
The Extra Point.
With Pearson, Preston, and Gamecock Central.
9 a.m. to noon.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game traffic from the Shepherd's Glass Traffic Center.
Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality. shepherdsglass.com.
Up in Chapin, Amex Ferry Road at Long Pine Road, still working that earlier accident. And towards Lexington, Nazareth Road at Long Pond Road. 89 for the high today and tomorrow. It's cloudy. It's 76 right now. 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Indeed.com. Summer days getting shorter and business to-do lists getting longer? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, this is Ray and Nathan with Pope Davis Tire and Automotive.
It's time to kick off football season.
And time to kick off our fall Michelin special.
Hey, Dad, let's sell Michelin's at cost. The customer pays what we pay.
Michelin refs would never approve that.
Surprise! It's not a penalty if they don't see it.
Any other surprises?
Well, I guess I should say thanks for the raise.
Oh, no. You get a pay cut while we're selling Michelin's at cost.
What?
Michelin tires at cost.
Only at Pope Davis Tire and Automotive.
The months of August and September, they can be some of the hottest months here in South Carolina. You want to make sure that heating and air unit is working properly. It's time to call AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. Get AAA Heating and Air out to your house to maintain and inspect your heating and air unit today. Don't come home after a long day of work to find that air conditioner is out and now you're stuck on a hot afternoon. Call AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
You wash your hands and brush your teeth, but what about your nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage pulls saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, dirt, and germs, and it's why nose cleaning is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons: sinusitis, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they also find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Nearly 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying things like, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. That's because Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. Here's the key point. Navage is good personal hygiene, and it's going to help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, Target, and online. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
You want to feel important.
You want to be part of something bigger.
Something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong.
We know. We felt that way too.
And that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We are normal people just like you.
But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more.
When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it.
We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors.
From the farmlands of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia.
The mountains of West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Virginia.
To the beaches of Florida, South Carolina,
haven't caught Kerry yet,
Virgin Islands.
We are here for our hometowns.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Army National Guard. Aired by the South Carolina Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game. Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
8:48, wrapping up the Thursday morning edition of the early game, and no better way to wrap it up than with my good buddy.
Yeah, whatever.
Jen's nemesis, but my good buddy, one of my favorite guests each and every week. And I tell you what, Kerry, you ought to hear the things Jen says about you when we get off air. Just unbelievable. How goes it, buddy? There is an event that you're excited to put on this weekend. A lot of fun, not just for Darlington, but for the state of South Carolina this weekend. And you are now within about 72, a little more than 72 hours, I guess, would be the number. Probably closer to about 80 something. But the time is ticking down. People are on the grounds now, correct?
They are. They came in on Tuesday, and campers have been arriving, and each day you see more and more of them. And so. But the activity has really picked up here at the racetrack. We've already had several activities going on. We've got a big 5K race here tonight with well over 200 participants. And so, the beat goes on. We've just got a lot happening. We've got the teams and the haulers will start arriving in earnest tomorrow. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Do you have a tradition like a Saturday? Obviously, college football will be on Saturday night, so I know you'll probably get into that a little bit when you have time on Saturday. But like Saturday night, a nice quiet dinner with the wife, or do you have a reception you got to go to? Like, because you put so much effort into this, I don't know if you get to enjoy it the way you don't get to enjoy it the way everybody else does. But do you have some kind of tradition that you just try to settle down and take 3-4 hours at some point Saturday or Sunday morning just to enjoy what you've done?
Well, most of my time here lately is spending time out on the property, and I enjoy being around the campers, to be honest with you. I spent some time with them last night. There's actually a group of campers that I've befriended that are from Athens, Georgia, and we were going back and forth last night about that Georgia-South Carolina game, and I said, hey, don't sleep on the Gamecocks. You guys coming into Columbia this year, y'all better strap it on. So I enjoy talking to the campers. I enjoy being around the campers. That to me is a lot of fun. I always like to find out where they're from. And so many of them have been coming to Darlington for years and years, and they like to camp next to their buddies and that type of thing. And certainly there's a lot of activities. My wife comes out to, she gets involved very, very much, particularly when we have the community activities that we do. But it's most of the time I am just kind of like all over the place, and trying to get from place to place and check on things. And that to me is a lot of fun.
I figure you might want to talk, Jen. It's a big weekend for you. I know you're busy back there, but I'm looking at Jen's working hard.
Finishing up a spot here, but no, I'm excited. I think I was kind of picturing when Kerry was talking about, being all over the place and whatever. I just picture his wife being the first lady of Darlington, or the first lady of Too Tough to Tame, But it sounds like, I think you're the perfect guy to do this, though, because you do love all of the people. And I think they all see that and appreciate that you're popping around, because I'm sure they think, oh, man, he's too busy to be out here doing stuff. And, so I think it just, it really lends to it being a very homey atmosphere, even though you've got how many thousands that are coming to hang out with you? Because really about how many people are descending upon the track this weekend?
Well, if you count all of our campers, plus those in the grandstand, we'll probably have, close to 60,000 people on property at some point over the weekend. And that's a big number. And,
yeah,
they're spread out all over the property. And it's really kind of a cool deal. We've got a great team that supports us. I can't thank our law enforcement enough for their assistance. Highway Patrol, SLED, Darlington County, all the agencies, City of Florence, City of Darlington, Hartsville, FBI, all of the agencies that we have just do a great job for us to keep everybody safe. And it's a lot of work leading into the event, but then once the event gets here, it's I tell our team, make sure you enjoy the event. And that to me is I don't want to have that get lost on our team, because this is one of the coolest things that we get to do is put on an event like this, and I want it to be enjoyable.
He's Kerry Tharp joining us. It is the Cookout Southern 500 this coming weekend in Darlington. Kerry, for those coming, and I don't think I've asked you this, and the answer may be nothing, I don't know, but any changes, just whether it's to the grandstands or to the infield, or, yesterday they put out, or I think it was maybe Tuesday, they put out a list of some changes to Williams-Brice Stadium, a new beer garden, but anything that people coming that have been in the past might see that it's a little bit different this year?
Well, I think we're going to have a lot more activity in our fan midway, and that's located directly behind our front stretch grandstands. I think our midway is going to be bigger and better than ever. We've got live entertainment, concerts. We've got people on pogo sticks out there. We've got displays from all the manufacturers. What's that?
I said your wife is one of those.
No, I don't know about that. All the manufacturers have displays. All of our sponsors have displays. Like I said, we'll have driver Q&As out there on Sunday. We got Dale Jr. and Dale Jarrett going to be handicapping and breaking down the playoffs. And so I just think that our, what we provide our fans off the track is probably bigger and better than ever.
Well, let's make some picks. I told Jen earlier when Jen gave me the sheet with our numbers breakdown, it was like getting a test back that I didn't study for, and I knew it was going to be ugly. I usually would get those and would go promptly face down, and my father would never see those test scores. But Reggie's at 94, Jen's at 79, I'm at 69, and you're at 64. So I'm right there with you, buddy. That's why you and I are best buds right now. Best buds.
Yeah, that score sheet looks like my 7th grade English paper. I mean, it just is it's all a mess right now. So so you're looking for me to pick somebody. Is that what you're saying?
That's what we need. Yeah. Kerry, right? We're going with you. Who you got?
Well, I tell you, I'm probably not just supposed to show favorites or what have you, but I'm going to go with my guy who's won here before. He got hot at the end of the season. I'm going to go with Kevin Harvick to win Sunday.
Stop it. Seriously, look at my sheet, Bill. That's who I had picked, was Harvick.
I see a whole bunch of names on there, Jen. I see a whole, he's on that list, too. I think there was about 20 drivers on that list.
No, seriously, because I'm thinking maybe he can pull this out this weekend. He runs well at Darlington. He's had a couple wins this year, so okay. Well, sugar. I thought I was going to be all innovative and all that. I was feeling pretty impressed with myself. I'm thinking, oh gosh, I don't know. I was thinking Reddick and Elliott. Let me go with Chase Elliott. I don't know.
Chase Elliott, good pick. Good pick.
I want to take my guy. I want to go Hamlin, but he's good. Yeah, let me take Hamlin. Ride with you. Who knows? If I'm going to pull off this massive upset, I've got to have my guy. Denny Hamlin will be my guy. Kerry, we appreciate you joining us each and every week. Certainly, you've put a lot of work in down there. Enjoy yourself this weekend.
Yes, don't forget.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Thank you all for what you do. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
no problem. Kerry Tharp. Make sure you can get down there. The Cookout Southern 500 should be a great Sunday event. Look forward to it down there. We will be back tomorrow morning. Patrick Perrette will join us. Chris Deering will be a part of the program. And you, of course, as we start making predictions. The official predictions are due tomorrow. Do your homework tonight, folks. We expect nothing but the best from you tomorrow. We'll bring an average game. We promise that.
Mm-hmm.
The early game, 107.5 The Game.
The home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game. WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
A Cumulus Media Station.
All right, everybody. Thank you. I probably apologize. Busy morning, just kind of all over the map. Patrick will be back tomorrow from 7 to 8. Chris Deering. And I may be in Atlanta. I might go to a Braves game tonight and do the show from a hotel room over there in Atlanta. So we'll see. I've got to make some. It looks like I'm going. I sent some text messages there. So anyway, everybody have a great day. Thank each and every one of you for being part of the program, and we will see y'all tomorrow.